No. Recap me.
Fuck, kid.
Alright, so we started the session off by having the fucking alligators starting to come out of the waters. We decided to protect the kids and try to wave them away through a lot of fire spells and a bunch of speaking to animals through Avot. The crocodiles eventually left. We only killed one, and all of the kids lived. We picked up the wagon boat and the horses, and we crossed them through the river, and kept going on our way. Through the journey, there were several discussions. Oh no, I'm forgetting something. Right as this ended, Damien showed up after running away from the vines real fast, like Sonic, and
Like a bitch.
I was
we talked to
fucking
him,
zooming.
he
You
came
missed
up.
it. I was flying. Oh, I know you were there for that one.
Yeah, I was.
He came up. He helped us get the wagon over the river. He helped us get the horses over the river, and then we got on the wagon, put the kids, and started walking. We had a good amount of discussion over what we're gonna do, what has happened before, why we have the kids, what we're planning to do, and what's Damien's position and ours. And we talked a lot, essentially, about that. Avot was also very suspicious of Damien, thinking he might be a doppelganger or something along the sorts. But he managed to verify his identity. We noticed the kids were starting to bully each other again, so we put a stop to it, and we had the wolves help, and we got order back into the whole thing. We eventually stopped, found a good place next to the mountains. We saw one big statue rotated sideways to us, and we found a place that was relatively hidden to hide. We started their nightly lessons, where we attempted to teach them some kind of unity, at the same time trying to make them spar. We also talked to the kid who was trying to essentially bully another one. It's more of a case of him being a bit too small and wanting to prove himself a lot, so we kind of tried to take care of that. But in the midst of the sparring, three creatures attacking Dusty and almost killing it. One of them already ate a magic missile to the face, and babbity. They started encroaching on us. We noticed they are essentially jaguars with tentacles on their back that kind of phase in and out of existence, and we got ready to fight, and I think that's it.
Nice.
All right. And as you guys made that journey before you had set up that camp, Avot kind of dove into a Gaze of the Two Minds. Soup, can you kind of narrate what you saw for those that weren't in attendance?
I can. There's quite a bit to cover. Basically, I went into the mind of William. I told him, hey, go to the Prime Library, which he got access to. So he went to the Prime Library, he looked at the history of the continent and the geography of the world. So we got an actual world map, right? Oh, Sarah hopped out. We got a world map so we know what the whole world looks like. Then we looked at some of the intricacies on religious history and the stuff that happens with Freya. And there was apparently some 7,000-year war that happened between the gods. There's a lot to cover there, so to surmise it, gods were angry at each other, they fought each other. Savras was made, probably Damien's patron was made, probably Malesh is Abot's patron, but we're not 100% sure. That one is a hot button issue, though. And then...
Real quick, when you mentioned Damien's patron, are you talking about Beautiful Wolf Boy, or are you talking about Helm?
I'm talking about, I'm talking about Beautiful Wolf Boy.
Okay.
Because they made the beast, and then in theory, Helm made Savras, and Helm also with Savras was trying to create a tool to control the beast. I don't know. That also is like told from a very unreliable narrator, so don't put too much into it. But it gives us new angles to look into other things. And that was about it. We also learned about Cyril and how he came to be in the market, how he came from a different continent originally, and the whole history behind the isolation of the South, or separation of the South. Very specific wording was used. But yeah, that's what happened.
Okay. And so, as such, Abot is still in Gaze of the Two Minds as one of your horses was just attacked by this panther-like creature with these long tentacles coming out. And as you tried to multiple times attack in the direction of this creature, you notice that it's actually seems to be projecting a version of itself out, and so you're not ever sure if you're attacking the real one or not. Currently, there's 6 of these creatures around you, and maybe more in the darkness. And with that, I need everyone to roll initiative.
Woo, daddy!
Didn't we already do that last time?
Did you?
Yeah.
I think we rolled initiative and then we ended the session.
Okay.
Did someone roll for me?
Probably.
I didn't.
I'll roll.
Yeah, you're on a 1, so I highly doubt it.
I rolled that for the initiative a while back. I remember it was
Yeah.
super shitty.
3
so-
minus 2.
Not great, but it's, you know, not awful. I love it when you call me Senorita.
So, with that, Flint, 3 of the creatures are coming at you, kind of darting back and forth in the darkness. You see them approaching. What are you doing?
Alright, I'm gonna yell back. Make sure all the kids are surrounded and there's no weird things coming at them. Additionally, a small question. When I threw the magic missile at the one last time, it did the weird phasing stop, or did it continue?
It continued.
Okay. Then I'm going...
You cut out. Unless, wait, what the fuck?
Did he mute himself again?
I just saw.
can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, a storm came in and I just lost power in my house.
Oh Jesus!
Oh no.
Literally at the moment that I was gonna roll, so yeah. Anyway.
Welcome home.
You need me to roll for you?
Yeah, I'm gonna
What's your
pick up my
modifier?
whip and start trying to do a booming blade on the dude in front of me.
Oh, what's the... Or I guess you can just type it in.
Yeah, it's a +8 if you want to roll it for me.
He doesn't have internet, so you need to do it too. Oh, you can type it.
26.
Holy shit! What?
It's 18 plus 8.
Y plus 8.
He said his modifier was plus 8.
Go ahead.
Is your modifier really plus 8? I thought it was plus 7.
No, it's +8.
Huh.
5.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's a hit.
No, what do you think?
Hell
I'm a peasant with a +2? It's +8.
That's a hit. Roll that damage.
1d8 force damage, 1d8 thunder damage, 1d8 slashing, and adds 7 damage.
Good God.
And if it moves, it takes an extra 2d8.
18 points of damage. 6 lightning, 5 slashing.
And a
Lucky
partridge and a pear tree.
Yeah. So as you take the whip and kind of crack it out, you just hear this as the whip kind of lashes and hits the creature right in the face. What are you doing?
Alright, bonus action, I'm gonna use War Magic and slash it in again with the whip. Normal attack this time.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, I got-
Yes. Is that a plus 8 as well?
Yes, it's just normal attack.
Okay. 17. Does it hit?
17 hits. By the way, Nuno, I forgot. I mixed up my words. When you threw the axe at that one, it did stop the illusion or whatever it was.
Okay, and
Same modifier
then
or
this one will
damage?
hit. It's 1d8 plus 7, and I will attempt to grapple it.
Okay.
What's your grapple? Athletics?
It's a +8 as well.
God damn. Okay, so you do 14 points of damage on the second hit, and a 16 for the grapple attempt.
Okay.
Ooh.
And it's a fail. As the whip kind of lashes out again, it wraps around actually the base of those tentacles coming off its back, and you kind of grab it and pull it into place.
Hell yeah. So he's grappled.
He's grappled.
Yes.
Fantastic. That is going to be the end of my turn.
Okay. Kira, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm going to bonus action Slayer's Eye. This one. I'm gonna try to look for its weaknesses.
You're looking for its weaknesses?
Yeah.
Nothing. It doesn't seem to be vulnerable to anything. But what you do notice is when you kind of observe this creature is again it's phasing back and forth, and it's actually projecting a part of itself, and you actually start to see a pattern to it. Roll a perception check, please.
15.
And during that pattern, as you're watching this thing shift back and forth in the night, you're able to track that pattern. And so if you make an attack on this one, you're able to pick out the real one. You will not be rolling with disadvantage.
Nice.
That's dope.
Alright, I'm going to aim at the real one and take my shot.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
A non-natural 20.
That's a hit.
Hell yeah, brother. And these are monstrosities, right?
These are monstrosities.
Okay, so I'm adding 5. Alright, so that's 17 damage.
Okay. Oops. Alright. Says the arrow lets loose, and you kind of just follow it, and you're just timing it. 1, 2, 3, as it's kind of shifting back and forth, and you let loose the arrow right it's about to shift into place, and it just snaps right between the front right leg and the in the neck where the shoulder meets the neck. It just buries deep.
Hell yeah. Alright, I'm gonna try to replicate that and shoot at it again. $21.
It's a hit, and as that first arrow kind of digs in, and the creature kind of rears its head up. You see the other two, like the displacements, kind of dissipate for a moment, and you let loose another arrow.
That is 13 damage.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, 12 damage.
Okay. What are you doing?
I tell the wolves to circle around the kids.
Okay.
So Everest just moves here.
All right.
Yeah,
By the way,
and
Captain, the circles are tents, and the boxes are just lines that were drawn in the sand by Flint.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Damien.
Yeah, so Damien sees that they're like projecting, I guess. I don't know.
So these
And,
two have stopped.
Okay.
They're not actually projecting in the moment as they've taken these hits. This one is still shifting back and forth as it's kind of coming at you.
But we can actually visibly see the shit.
Yeah. It's just it's like there's one over here, and then there's one over here, and then there's one over here, and then there's one over here.
So, Damien channels a spell in his hand as 3 beams of light whip towards these creatures, and he's casting Bane. Unfortunately, at 3rd level, so that's 5 targets, but that's the only slot I have left. So they all need to make a Charisma save.
Okay. Charisma. Fail.
They all fail?
Nope.
Oh, you're doing it separately. Gotcha.
2 more fails.
Fuck yeah. Alright, so now they are all have Bane on them. Anytime they make an attack or a saving throw, roll a d4 and subtract the number. so they're less accurate and harder to make saves.
Okay.
That's my last spell slot. All right. And then I look over to the one that is closest to me. So this boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use Vicious Mockery on him. And he needs to make a Wisdom save.
And -4, correct?
Yeah, D4.
Fail.
Hmm.
Actually, what's the save?
15.
Yeah, fail.
Now he also has disadvantage on his next attack roll.
Okay.
Before his next turn, I'm gonna roll damage for it. Is it 2d4? Okay.
Vicious Mockery does damage?
Yeah.
2d4.
Not a lot.
Yeah, very, very small.
1 damage, 2 damage. And even though it's like you're saying words, they don't have to understand the language. I looked it up.
So question, is that damage, is that half of the damage because of the save itself?
What do you
Or
mean?
like, is that like a half full damage save, or is it just a damage
No,
or no
all
damage?
cantrips is no damage if they succeed.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
Got it.
2d4. I rolled 1s on both rolls, so he takes 2 it's psychic damage. Yeah. Yeah. So this one also has
To an
disadvantage.
effect that allows to make a saving throw to take only half damage. It takes no. Okay, got it. So 2 points of damage, you said.
Yep.
Okay.
He's just, he's literally just trying to control the battlefield at the moment.
Okay. All right. Is that on your turn?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's literally everything I can do.
Okay. So Carrick, over your
Oh, wait,
shoulder.
hold on a second.
Oh.
Hold on a second. I might have fucked up. I mean, I can't do that. Hold on. They're both actions. I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, so that doesn't happen. He doesn't take those 2 damage. And he
Okay.
doesn't have disadvantage.
Okay.
Because Bane is, yeah. So, is there a bonus action, right? Bonus action, I'm giving Kira a Bardic Inspiration.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing.
Nice.
How do you do that?
How do you do that?
I just say, I almost went into my fucking southern accent. I say,
Nice.
Kira, one's grappled, the other one's pinned. Do your job.
So inspiring.
Inspired. All right. So Carrick, you see 3 beams of light kind of shoot out of Damien's hand as the 2 of the creatures have stopped shifting as 2 arrows were embedded in one, and one is being held kind of down and taut on the whip of on Flint's whip. What are you doing?
So, bonus action healing word for Dusty. I 5, 10, 15, 20, 20. Okay, yeah, I'm fine. So Dusty,
As you look in that direction, make me a perception check, please.
I will do that for
If
you.
there's more of these things, I'm gonna be so sad that I burned that spell slot.
That is a big ol' 12.
Okay. So what you see is just more of that shifting. You can't make out the exact number or what it is, but you see more movement coming from the tree line, very slowly approaching the horses.
Oh. Alright, so I healed Dusty for 1d4 plus, I believe... Where is it? 1d4 plus 4. Okay, so Dusty gets healed for 5 hit points.
Okay.
And I yell out, "Oh, this isn't the end of them!" And I want to move over just 5, 10 feet to be in melee with this one. I don't. Is this taking up all of these spots?
Yeah, it's in 4 spots there, so you would be here.
Okay.
They're large.
Okay. So I'll move there, and I just want to use Toll the Dead on this boy.
Do it.
So he has to make a saving throw, wisdom saving throw.
Okay, is it half damage if it Succeeds?
No. It's no damage if it succeeds.
Okay.
Good old cantrips.
And you said it's wisdom.
Wisdom DC 15.
Okay, fail.
Nice. So it takes 2d12 damage. You know it. You love it. Carrot gets his sword and his not his sword, his warhammer and his shield out, and he fucking bangs it. Okay, that's a 3 and a 2. 5 necrotic damage.
As then the creature's head begins to shift left and right as that the metal on metal just reverberates through its head, and it's just like getting really low. And in that moment, you notice that it almost looks like it has like 8 legs, and these tentacles are just kind of whipping back and forth, and its tail's whipping back and forth, and it gets real low, just hissing in your direction as you approach.
I'm really not a fan of these things, and I'll end my turn.
Okay, and as that happens, you kind of turn your attention and corner your eye as you notice those other ones. They pick up speed, and there seems to be some number of them shifting back and forth, running full speed at the horses.
What the fuck? Does anyone have a reaction?
And with that, two of them one of them lunges at Dusty, 2 of them are lunging at Nixie.
How dare you attack Dusty?
Can
Dusty's
Volreen
fucking
use
dead.
her reaction?
Yep. Which one?
She's gonna use suppress.
Okay, can you
So-
read suppress for me?
Yeah, when an enemy makes an attack before the attack is rolled, Volreen can ethereal jaunt, vanishing to another plane and reappearing anywhere adjacent to the enemy's target, and knock the enemy back 10 feet and attempt to frighten it. DC 15 whiz save.
Okay.
Okay, so Volreen is gonna appear. Can she appear? I guess like slightly off the board.
Yeah.
Here.
So it'd be like up here.
Okay. Yeah. She's going to try to scare off this one.
Okay.
Just as soon as you drop it, hit L to lock. Oh, that works.
That's alright. Okay. So she appears. She kind of appears off to the side and just rams her body into the this panther creature's like torso, just poof, and the thing like gets knocked back 10 feet. And then she just starts growling and barking at it. And it's got to make a... What was the save?
15 whiz save.
Okay. Fail. It is now frightened of Volrune. Which, Rules Lawyer, what does frightened mean?
It means it can't move willingly to the target of its sphere. Also, while the target of its sphere is within sight, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
Okay. So as the creature was about to pounce, Volrune just appears and pushes it back out of the way. But what you see is while it was coming in with its claws and it was about, like to bite Dusty, you see that as it's pushed backwards, the tentacles lash out over Volrune's head, latching onto Dusty.
Bruh.
Or at least trying to.
No!
9.
Dusty's
I'm
got a
using
12
using
million
a-
AC.
Using a reaction to cutting words him.
Ooh, do it up.
Well, which
So-
one? Because there's 2 other ones attacking Nixie.
The one that's trying to attach to Dusty.
Alright, what's cutting words do?
Reduces the attack. I rolled a d6, so it is reduced by 4.
Ooh. Reduced by 4. Alright, what's the riding horse? Riding horse is armor class 10. Switch please plus 6, it's 15.
No!
Oh, nope.
It's an 11, right?
Yeah, it's an 11. It still hits.
How dare you? sir.
I knew I shouldn't have tried to save Sarah's stupid horse.
No, Dusty's my horse.
So as the tentacles come up and over, and just one, you see that it like flips up, and then you see that there's actually these teeth embedded in it as they both grasp onto basically Dusty's neck and pull it to the ground, over Volrune's like antlers and head. Let's roll damage. Oh
That's
boy.
fucked up.
Or you could not do that.
That's fucked up,
Rest in
man.
peace, Dusty. Good to see you.
Should I cast whatchamacallit on it? Spare the dying. Wait, what is it?
Spare the dying is yeah, that would work.
No,
Ooh.
that's not the spell I have. Gentle repose.
So
Dusty
she had
gets torn in
she
half.
had 5 health, and that's 11 damage. Yeah.
Dusty's
She's
max
down.
HP is what?
13. So she's not
Oh,
dead, but she's down again.
damn it.
As the thing is, like, you hear as it's fucking pulled straight to the fucking ground right over Volroom. As the other two panthers kind of run up, lunging at Nixie.
Frank, I know we talked about like putting in some stuff for Carrick specifically, but this isn't what I had in mind.
Why
Fucking
you gotta do
asshole.
me like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, get fucked, kids. And as they lunge, both of them just digging their claws and like basically lions on a fucking gazelle, just pulling this thing to the ground. Oh man. Again, that you hear that horrible neighing sound as as both panthers just kind of jump on, putting all their body weight on the horse, and it just collapses. Nixie is down.
Rest in pieces.
As that happens, you see Damien, the one closest to you, shifts its head, looks at that direction, runs over, bites down, the tentacles grab onto the corpse, and it starts backing away, dragging it. As the other two then take a step forward. You realize in this moment these things are acting as a pack. As that happens, Flint, the one that you're grappling, you see it begin to shift and shake, trying to break free.
-4 or roll that DC.
Okay,
Bane.
so it's a 3 plus not enough. It's fucking lose right there. And it just can't break free, and you're just holding it down. And Carrick, the one next to you, begins to it kind of just turns around and just starts running backwards, trying to get away from you.
Opportunity attack, baby.
Yep, opportunity attack.
Fuck your dice. 14 plus something. 14 plus 4, so 18.
18. That's a hit.
Nice. So as he's running away, I go, "Fuck you." This is for Dusty. And then I swing my warhammer at his leg to try and kind of keep him in place. And why? Hang on. Real quick. On my roll 20, it has my warhammer as 1d8 plus 10, and then in parentheses 1d10 plus 1. Is that if I'm using it two-handed?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm definitely not.
It's a versatile weapon.
Okay. So that is 7 damages of the bludgeoning type.
7 damage. Okay. And as the thing backs out, you take this long, big swing, poof, hitting it right in the leg, almost knocking it down, but it continues to run.
God damn it.
You said 7?
Correct. 7 bludgeoning.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. As it darts around one of the tents, running presumably to join up with the rest of the pack.
Do these tents block vision, or are they?
Yeah, that's a tent. You cannot
Okay.
see through it, but you see it kind of
Okay.
dart around. And as it's like leaving your view, you see it starting to do that thing again, where it's starting to shift back and forth.
Gotcha.
And the one that you are holding on to begins to do the same thing, Flint. The others all doing it as well. With that, the one panther is dragging the body of the horse. The other two panthers are kind of like making moves, it seems, for the next two horses. Flint, what are you doing? You're holding that one still.
Okay. I'm essentially gonna start first attack. I'm gonna do a shove. I'm essentially gonna pull it to the point to the side until it falls to the ground. So I'm gonna try to shove it.
Okay.
It's context.
I'll roll my d4. I got a 1.
You win the contest.
All right. It gets shoved prone.
Okay. As you kind of take your whip, pull it in, and just push it down to the ground, putting all your body weight on it.
Hell yeah. And
And
then,
as that
the second attack,
happens-
I'll do a normal.
As that happens, it's like still shifting back and forth, and so like as that happens, you see that now it's on the ground, but it's just like there's one over here, there's one over here, there's one over here.
That's fine. That's fine. I'll second attack do a normal attack on it because I suppose it would be disadvantage, but it gets cancelled out on the prone.
Yep. And so as it's kind of shifting back and forth, you have that fucking memory, and you know exactly where you brought that down, and you fucking reach out and just grab it, and it's like there, and for a moment you're holding on to something solid but nothingness, and then it appears.
Sadly, that's a 12, I think.
But in that instant, you go to bring your whip down on it again, and it vanishes from your hand, and you lose track of it, and you miss, and you hit the ground next to it.
I'm gonna action surge and booming blade on him.
Okay. It hits.
Fantastic. Where did you put my d8s, Sophie? Okay, that's 13 damage.
Okay.
And if it moves, it takes an extra 2d8. And bonus action, I'm gonna do War Magic and slam the whip on top of him again. This time, does the shimmering stop when I hit it the first time?
Yeah. So as that happens, it stops displacing.
Then this time it will be at advantage.
I mean, that's a hit.
Okay, yeah, 22. And another 14 for a total of 30 damage this round. And I will attempt to grapple it again.
Well, how much damage was that?
The
That-
total of the round was 30. It was 16 and 14.
I thought it was 16 and 13.
No, it was 13 and 14. Sorry, I'm getting confused. It's 27 total.
Okay.
I got confused.
Nice.
And the grapple check is a 19.
And I gave him a -2 with that bane.
-2.
Yeah.
It's a fail. So as you pull it in from that while the whip is wrapped around its leg, force it to the ground, take the whip, go to bash it once, shifts, moves, you hit the ground, you're going for another one, you go to basically just whip it again. This time this energy kind of flows up your whip and crack, and then you see it stop shifting, and then you hit it one more time and wrap the whip around it and hold it down.
Hell yeah. Alright, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Kira, what are you doing?
Oh boy. Okay, to bonus action cast Hunter's Mark on this one.
Okay.
Sorry, just getting rid of my spell slot. Okay, and I'm going to step here. Am I able to see past the tent from this spot?
Which tent? You're not able to. You're not able to see that one. No. No. What you can see is Flint wrestling this one. You can see the tent. You don't really have line of sight on that other one.
Okay, I'll just turn around and shoot this one then.
Yeah, so you run up behind Cloud, and you just poke your head out with your bow. Draw. Go ahead and roll.
I gave you Bardic Inspiration.
As it's shifting back and forth, I need you to roll with disadvantage.
Okay. 8 plus 17.
Oh wait, did you put Hunter's Mark on that?
Yeah.
Roll perception check first. Sorry, not disadvantage. Cancel those rolls out. Roll perception check. Okay, so now you can roll the attack. Now you can roll the attack with disadvantage.
Okay. 11. Another 11.
Yeah. So as you
my Bardic Inspiration if you need it.
I don't know what that means.
Oh,
You
roll
roll a
add it
d6
to-
and you add it to the attack roll.
You also have some wolves with reactions.
Yeah. Okay. Just trying to read all of them. Oh, it's only when they attack.
No, it's when
Yeah.
a player
Yeah.
attacks.
First one. Okay, I'm going to have the wolves restrain this one.
Okay. So as you release that arrow, all 3 wolves vanish and reappear and just start biting down,
Excuse me.
holding it in place. Wow! Wow! Adding what to the roll?
3.
Yeah, and as they grab it, and you were able to kind of just line up the shot, it all in one motion. They appear and they grab down. It stops displacing in that moment. You release the arrow right into the head. Roll damage, please.
Fuck yeah. $13 damage.
The arrow just goes right into the skull. It doesn't go deep, but it just goes enough and just sticking right out of its head. As all the wolves kind of just bite down, restraining the creature.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot again, and Kira looks fucking pissed. 27. I
Yeah.
roll with disadvantage, right?
Yep. Or no, sorry, because you just hit it. So no, you're not rolling with disadvantage.
Okay, so 27, that hits.
That hits.
Jesus
And 14
Christ.
damage.
Okay. Releasing another arrow, and it basically just hits right above where the last one hits. Just 2 arrows just sticking out of the top of its head. And it just lets out again. As the wolves are barking and biting and clawing at it.
Alright, I'm going to action surge and shoot again.
Woo! Go, girl!
Oh, that was almost a natural 20. 17.
Hits.
Alright, 9 damage. And one more shot. $27.
That hits.
Ooh. Oh,
Hell
shit.
yeah,
That's
19 damage.
Wow. Another 7 and then the 19.
Yes.
Okay. Thinking. Mental math is hard. That would be 4t5 plus 55. And so then you really, like, just with rage in your eyes as you're watching one of those other panthers dragging the horse away. 2 more arrows, both like in the arms of this its cat feline like arms. Legs, I guess, not arms. Alright.
Alright, and can I try to communicate with the horses? Oh wait, never mind, that's an action.
That'd be an action. Okay.
Yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Damien, you see the wolves kind of just like vanishing and flashing all around the battlefield, and then they all appear around one of the panthers as they bite down, bear down, holding it still as Kira just releases arrow after arrow into this thing's fucking head. You just like you could just imagine her just yelling, "Die, die, die!" It's just fucking letting these arrows go. What are you doing?
So Damien is just gonna full on charge. How do you grapple something that's already grappling something? I'm assuming
You can just grapple it.
Okay. I'm gonna charge and tackle this fucking panther here.
Okay.
As I'm running, I just say, I just yelled at Kira, "Nice shot, keep it up," and give her another bardic inspiration.
All right.
As she witnessed me fucking tackle the shit out of this boy.
All right. Roll grapple check.
Is that athletics?
Yep.
Right? Okay. So 13 plus 10. And it also has to roll a d4 against it, because this is one of the bane targets. Yeah, it fails.
I got it 0. 3 minus 3. And then
yeah,
the
so
modifier.
So now it's grappled.
Alright.
I think it's the first
So
time
you kind of just jump onto it, grab like the tentacles that it's using to drag this thing. You grab the base and you kind of just put your body on it, wrap your head around its head, just kind of holding it in place, plant your feet.
Yep.
Is that on your turn?
I don't know what else I can do from a grapple. I know, like, eventually I can attack, but I don't have extra attack. So
Yeah.
Because grappling is an action, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's an attack. But
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So an action. Yeah, that's all I did.
Okay. So you kind of, this thing is like trying to drag this horse away, and you just run up, grab it, and kind of put it in a chokehold and holding it in place so it can't get the horse away. Carrick.
Which between that and my words of encouragement inspires Kira.
Carrick, what are you doing?
So I'm still within 60 feet of Dusty, so I'm gonna burn another spell slot and say, Dusty, move somewhere safe. And I'm rolling my. He gets 5 health again back. Fuck.
That was his healing word.
That was my healing word.
How much does he get?
5 health. I wish I could. Rules lawyers, I can't cast a spell that isn't a cantrip if I've already casted a spell, correct?
Yes.
if you cast the spell has a bonus action, yes.
Right. So, I'm just gonna move 5. I can't move through this tent, right?
You can move into it, and then you could treat it as rough terrain to basically, and an item interaction to basically rip it and go through it. But you'd be destroying the tent.
Oh,
Because
well, I don't wanna
there's
do
there's
that.
a doorway here. There's no doorway on the other side.
These are presumably our tents, correct?
Yeah, you guys put those tents up, or Akira put those tents up.
I don't want to rip it. Okay.
Or you could go prone, crawl under it, and then stand up.
I have
go
25
in.
feet of movement. I don't think I can
Yeah.
reach him. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll move 5, 10, 15, 20 here. And I'll cast Hold the Dead. Can I see the Slayer's Eye boy?
From there, barely. You would be attacking. It would have 3/4 cover if you try
If
to
it's
attack it.
So Wisdom save though, that shouldn't make a difference, right?
Nope.
And the one, okay, so the one in front of me is looking real rough, right?
Yeah, the one that Flint's basically holding down with his whip and just been manhandling. Yeah, it's looking pretty rough.
Alright. Fuck it. I'm just gonna cast Toll the Dead on that. So it just needs to make a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Alright, I assume that fails. Unless it's super fucking wise.
It's a fail.
So, depending on how much damage I roll, this is going to be flavored differently. Alright, so that's 6 and 7. Okay, so 13 necrotic damage. So Carrick kind of, as he's over here and he's walking up, he yells to Dusty, Dusty, get somewhere safe! And then he moves over here and just like, as Flint has this thing,
You say 13?
correct, 13
Okay.
necrotic. As Flint has this thing, I say, sorry, this is gonna be a little loud. And I just fucking, like, right in front of its fucking head, slap my shield and my warhammer together.
And as that happens, it starts hissing, and you see that, like, blood just starts gushing out of its large panther ears and out of its nose, and it's just, like, flailing around. Its eyes are basically closed, and it's just, like clawing at the ground with all 8 legs trying to get free, and it's just, like, starting to give up.
You're gonna make a great coat. And then I have my turn.
Okay.
Did I didn't... Is Flint supposed to be right next to this thing? Am I, like, in a bad position?
No, he's holding it. He's been dragging it to him and dragging it all around with his whip. So he's actually
Okay.
you're standing, like, basically over the whip that he's using to just drag it to him right now.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, as all of the Panthers are, like, kind of reacting, the one comes around the side of the camp, or the tent, sees you two kind of just manhandling the fuck out of this one, darts back around 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. The one that you just brought Dusty back to life, and he's like scrambling to get up. I need somebody to roll 1d20, please.
I got it!
Actually, how about... Never mind. I was gonna say we could let Soup roll something.
Actually, yeah, that's fair.
Wait, I'm rolling something? A 1d20?
Yeah, Soup, you're actually determining how the horses are reacting right now.
Okay. Do
All
I
the
roll high or low to have the horse
You want
die?
the higher the better.
Okay, well,
So
that's
this
sort
is
of- okay.
hold on, this is a wisdom check. Plus 0. Okay. So it's a 9.
Yep.
So the horses are all panicking and they're just trampling back the other way. 5, 10, 20. What do they have for movement? 60, 30, 40, 50, 60. I need a dexterity saving throw for the Orcish children, please. As the horses are just beelining. Kira, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as well. So,
Do I roll
Oh,
those
never
for the children?
yeah, Soup, roll for the children. Kira, I need
Come
you to
on,
make a dexterity
kids.
saving throw.
Yeah, those are some
that
fucking
didn't roll at
dexterous
all.
kids.
18 for the kids.
18.
Pre-modifier.
6. So I have 17. And can I try to, like, stop the horses from running?
That would be you can on your turn. I'm gonna say no. That would be an action.
Okay. I'll just dodge.
So what was your dexterity say?
17.
Okay. What I would allow, if you wanted to, you could try and mount one of the horses as it runs by. But you wouldn't be able to stop it.
No, that's okay.
Okay. So, Soup, you can place the children wherever you want to place them as they're making this dexterity save.
Can I delegate that to Sarah?
Yeah, sure.
Alright,
And then
Sarah, you do
Kira, you can reposition yourself 10 feet.
Okay.
So do that now. Reposition each of the kids 10 feet in any direction, because the horses are going to run straight up the middle. You can put the kids, move each kid 10 feet and yourself 10 feet.
Move the kids away from the jaguar this time.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah. So as you guys are scattering, making way for the horses, the panthers are moving simultaneously. The one that is dragging the corpse with Damien holding onto it is trying to shake Damien off.
Minus D4 against that because this one's Bane.
Okay.
You want me to roll it?
Yep.
-4 against my strength check, I guess. So
Okay, so it's a 17.
probably got it. So I rolled a 23.
Okay, so it fails. You're kind of holding it in place. You're still not letting it move, but it is starting to shift back and forth, and so it's at times it seems like almost like you're holding on to nothing. As the horses move, the children kind of step out of the way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. Kind of running past, freaking out, trying to get away. One of the panthers that's kind of in between Volrune and Ivris darts out 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, lashing out at Lortar as he steps out of the way, and the panther comes whipping around the end of Ivris. 2 tentacles fly out over its shoulders at Lortar.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Fuck these wolves.
We should have remained as walls against.
212. Let's
Can
go.
I have Shalens do her bait and switch?
Okay. When she releases that other panther will no longer be restrained.
Okay.
It'll be able to basically fucking break free of the other 2. So just so you know. But you can do bait and switch if you want to.
Yeah.
Armor class 11. So the first tentacle, Lortar kind of ducks out of the way as the Orcish children start screaming and pointing at him in Orcish. One's coming, one's coming. He turns and he sees the tentacle and he kind of tucks and rolls, but the other one kind of whips across from the other side, grabbing him on the side of the torso.
Okay, I want Shalens to do her thingy. So
Okay.
does she make the dexterity check?
So read it for everybody.
When an ally is about to be attacked by an enemy, Shalens can make a dexterity check, DC 13, to ethereal jaunt, coming between them and the attacker.
Yep. So she makes the dexterity check.
Okay. So I add 3. Mm, 11.
Okay. Did you add her modifier?
Yeah, plus 3.
Okay. So it fails.
Yeah, but it says if she fucks up, she can teleport between them and automatically take the hit.
So is that what she's gonna do, or is she gonna refrain
Yeah.
from intervening?
I'm sorry, Shalyn. I'm sorry.
So as this, as Lortar dodges one of the tentacles, Shalen's kind of just vanishes, reappears, butting Lortar to the ground out of the way as the tentacle just latches onto her torso. She takes 9, 13 points of damage. As the panther kind of just like as that happens. That panther is no longer restrained. And this one, is still frightened and has retreated into the woods. This one is no longer restrained, and it slips free of Ivris and Volrune, and lunges basically on top of the one that's dragging the horse, attacking Damien. What's your AC, Damien?
18, because I have a shield out currently.
You have a shield and a sword out while you're grappling?
Whatever, I guess I dropped whatever I need.
What's the rules on that, Nuno?
Yeah, I don't know.
You have to, essentially, one of the hands stops being used, normally the weapon hand.
Alright.
Okay, so you're holding your shield.
Can I throw my shield to the side? And just, like, chokehold around this guy?
So not have a shield
It's up to
equipped?
you. You choose the hand which you're using to grapple.
Yeah, I chucked my shield to the side, and now I have 16 AC.
Okay, so that's a hit.
Okay.
As the first tentacle swings wide and goes right over your head, the second one latches onto the back of your neck.
Is it the one I'm grappled with, or is this a different one?
This is the other one that kind of lunged on top of you, with two tentacles. Like it didn't lunge on top of you. That's the wrong way to say it. It slapped two tentacles on top of you.
Okay.
One of them missed. The other one hit. You take 15 points of piercing damage, bludgeoning and piercing damage.
Okay.
Split evenly.
Alright, I make the con save. This is a good question to bring up now. We talked about Damien's resistances forever ago, and we never decided.
It's not a thing yet.
Okay.
It could become a thing. It's not one round.
Gotcha. Alright, so yeah.
So, that's that one. That's that one.
The one that's missing is the one that's grappled.
Yeah, so the one that's grappled is just clawing out and biting and snapping wildly, and Carrick, you just get too close, man. It is making
It does have disadvantage for being prone.
Yep, it is making an attack with its... Well, can it stand up while grappled while prone?
No, it has 0 speed movement.
Oh,
speed,
yep,
so
okay.
It can't use it.
Get wrecked.
Riggedy wrecked. Attacking out with its claws while you're too close, because it's just like flashing out. And it misses as you kind of just lift your leg because it's just like clawing out, but then the tentacles come down from above you. What's your AC?
My AC is 20.
And as that happens, you just take your shield and just swat the tentacles back.
Oh, excuse me, it's 19.
Oh, 19. Ooh, nope. You swat one of them back. The other one lands right on your forearm.
Oh wait, no, it is 20. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
It's 20.
Oh my gosh. Read your fucking scorecard, man.
I did. I thought I was confused. It is 20.
That's the big number that says armor class.
I know. Well, so it doesn't have my extra +1 that I cast every single morning.
Mhm.
That's why it confused me.
Okay. So yeah, you just take your shield and just swat them back as this thing is like just kind of just lashing out any way it can. That's the end of the Panther's turn. Flint, what are you doing?
Okay. How wounded does the one in front of me look?
It's fucking dying.
Fantastic. I'm gonna let go of the whip and put it on my belt. Flint will put 3 fingers up. They'll start glowing. He'll point into the sky. 2 of the blasts go towards the one in front, and the other one goes to the one that Kira is shooting. So I'm casting magic missile. 2 missiles at the one in front of me. 1 missile at the one that is close to Ivris and
Yep.
Orlin.
Yep.
So
Okay, so
roll
roll
that.
damage.
The one in front of me takes 9 force
And
damage.
as you release that off your fingertip, it goes, and it just dives right through the thing's head and just shoots down into his body, and it just goes limp. It was like almost like a needle, like freaking lobotomizing the thing. Dead.
Very nice.
The one that Kiro was shooting.
Takes what? Oh, I think he lost internet again.
Rip.
And then a volcano came through.
Ruh-roh.
His mouse is still moving around on tabletop.
Flint?
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah.
We can hear you now.
Yes. Hi, sir.
Okay. You can hear me. Okay, fantastic. It takes 2 force damage, and it should stop flickering. Flint will put its shield up. No weapons at the moment.
How much
Says,
damage did you do to the other one?
2 force
Okay.
damage.
Okay.
Okay. After it stops flickering, Flint will turn around. Has no weapons at the moment. Says, Kira, the one you're shooting is stopped. Get on with it. Kids, get back into formation. Carrick, Damien, make sure none of them get close to the kids. Fuck the horses. Go.
As you tell them to get in formation, the kids have their character sheet is on D&D Beyond. You can, as you give them a command, you see that they're quickly reacting, but only after giving a command. You can place them. They have 30 feet of movement. How are they moving?
Okay. Let me see. I also tell Damien to essentially take the spots so that the kids get protected. I'm gonna put them like this. 30. Like this, and I'm gonna use my own movement to go 5, 10, 15, 20. And try to protect this flank. So yeah, I'm essentially just telling them protect the kids, make the formations around them, and that the one that Kira's shooting is now open. And that's the end of my turn.
Okay.
I have no weapons at the moment, only a shield and a hammer.
Okay. So Kira, you hear Flint bark out orders to the kids. You watch them start scattering to make their moves and get back into a huddle in the middle. The wolves are kind of darting around. The panthers are, it looks like they're just getting desperate to get some kind of food, just get something to bring back. What are you doing?
I'm gonna keep shooting at this one, just trying to kill it.
Okay.
$17.
Hits.
Nice. 18 damage.
So much damage. Okay. Another arrow just digs deep.
Shoot again. 26.
Hits.
Another 18 damage.
And as you release that arrow, you see it right under its head as it's lashing at Damien. The arrow just goes in, buries right through its neck, right under the head, and just goes limp, like on top of Damien as the tentacle latches onto him. Dead.
So it's just now over here. It's just me and this one I have grappled.
Yeah, and the horse that it is holding, trying to drag away as you're kind of holding it in place.
Hell yeah. Okay, and I'm just gonna
But Damien, you did see that other one that Volrune intercepted run back into the forest. You know, in this direction.
Okay, and I'm going to bonus action move my hunter's mark to this one since it died.
Okay, roll perception check.
Where's my d20? 7.
Okay. Yeah, you see, it's again, it's flashing all over the place, but this time you're not able to track which one's the actual one.
Okay, do I still get the hunter's mark on it?
The hunter mark is on it. You just can't tell. It's kind of just you're not able to catch the rhythm.
Gotcha. Okay, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Damien.
Yeah. So
Sorry, I'm gonna move it.
I'm going to. I'm going to use my channel divinity, cast Vow of Enmity on this thing that I'm grappled with, and essentially cancel out the disadvantage. It gives me advantage. I'm canceling it out. And then I'm going to make an attack on it.
Okay.
Does anything like unique happen when I have something grappled and I make an attack on it?
No, that's restrained. Unless you have the grappler feat.
I do not. Alright, making an attack roll. That's a 9 plus 8 is 17.
What's the total?
9 plus 8 is 17.
Oh, 17, yeah. Hits.
Alright, and then it's a d8 plus 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. Yeah, so I hit it for 12 slashing damage. My battle axe. As I'm grappling it.
Okay. Yeah, so you're holding on to it with one hand, you take your axe with the other and just start bashing it. Like, just trying to fucking lop its head off. As it's hissing and, like, flailing around trying to get away from you and drag this horse away.
Okay.
Alright.
That's my turn.
Alright. Carrick, you're up.
Okay. I want to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Actually, I'll just stay... Yeah, I'll go 25 here. Is this one all shimmying and stuff?
Yep. It's like,
Oh,
it's flashing around.
Okay. Alright, fuck it. Here's what I want to do. Bonus action, you see me, reach my, Warhammer kind of up into the sky, and then you see it ignite in flame. As I try and come down and kind of make a sweeping hit onto this fucker.
Okay. Roll the attack.
Is this with disadvantage, or?
Yep.
Nice! Let's get a natty 1. Oh, motherfucker!
Oh, that feels bad, man.
Feels bad, man.
Oh, that
What did he
feels...
That's
He had
not
a natural
gonna
20 on disadvantage.
It's a 12. It's not
And
gonna hit.
It doesn't hit.
Wait. He's still baned. Let me roll my dice. It's a
Does
1.
that apply to a DC?
No,
Or
It's the
AC,
same,
rather?
right?
no, he's not making a save.
No,
He's
I'm
getting
making
hit
an
with an
attack
attack.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were doing something very different.
No.
Or something different was happening.
I'm trying to cast Searing Smite on him, but I have to hit the creature, and I didn't hit him.
Yeah. So you see it like kind of vanishing and reappearing in different places, and you take your hammer as it begins to ignite and flame and bring it down. And as you do that, you realize that it's one of the displacements, and you just go right through it and hit the ground.
Okay, so my Searing Smite is still up. It doesn't get used
Yep.
until I hit anything.
Yep.
But I will end my turn.
Okay. And with that, the creature is darting away from you. 5, 10, 15. You get an opportunity attack. Flint, you do not, because Carrick is in your way.
Sorry. Do I have to roll with disadvantage again?
Yep.
Doesn't really matter. I rolled a 4 on my first
Okay.
one.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
I have a question.
30. Yeah.
Because I rolled poorly, can I instead do Golden Net?
Nope.
Fuck.
Hard no. And so it darts around the other tent, and then, presumably, because you can't see it, trying to kill that fucking horse.
I want Volrune to do her thing. She teleports, suppresses. They have to roll a DC 15 with save and get pushed back 10 feet.
Okay. So that's the second time she's used that today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was save.
Man, feel like a woman.
That's a fail. And it's pushed back 10 feet. And it is now frightened of Valrune. As it goes and then circles back around. And then this other one runs past snoozing Abot, 5, 10, past Ivris, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
Does
And
Everest not get a reaction?
Ivris does not take attacks.
Rip.
They have reactions.
Yep.
And then as Bajak is standing there, 2 tentacles come down. Poor Bajak.
Does this one not have any damage on it?
Nope.
No. Ooh, I'll get more value. Except that one's not baned.
No, unfortunately they showed up after.
That's gonna be 2 hits.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I wish I had reactions.
Sorry, guys. Sorry if this doesn't go well. I apologize.
No, you're
Dear
not.
God.
No, you're not.
It's okay. Someone was supposed to protect the children.
13 plus
Yo, he's
8.
fine.
13 plus 8.
Was he the bully? He's a dick anyway.
No, he's
21.
Fuck.
21 points of damage as these 2 tentacles come down. And Bajak drops. And hits the fucking ground. Goes limp. And the creature begins to drag him backwards.
Alright,
You hear all the kids start fucking screaming. He just goes down like a sack of fucking potatoes. And the thing is dragging him. Flint, you're up.
okay. I'm immediately going and just push, like, I'm gonna grab it by its snout and just pull Bajak away. I'm gonna try to break its grapple.
Alright. How are you going to try and break the grapple? An
I
external...
can presumably see it, like, grabbing it, right?
Yeah, but an external force breaking a grapple is not a rule in D&D, right?
No, it's not.
So, how are you trying to do that?
Then,
How are you trying to do that?
instead...
Nope.
going
You're
to-
not listening to what I'm saying. Narrate how you're trying to do that.
Okay, is it grabbing it by its snout, with its mouth, or with its tentacles?
With its tentacles.
Okay. Is it wrapping around, or is it, like, grabbed
It's
on?
they have teeth and they're kind of buried in his back, and it's just pulling it. It's like serrated teeth that it's pulling it by these knives, essentially.
Okay.
Like Bajak went straight fucking unconscious from the pain.
Takes my pain away.
And he's fucking hurting, right? He just took 21 points of damage. He has 11 HP, so
Yeah, I'm trying to think here. First I say,
Er.
Garrett, fucking hell, goddamn, protect the children! And,
What do you think I'm doing?
then, try to fucking think. Okay. I to the children I say, after Carrick heals your brother, throw the spears, and I'm going to grab my axe and try to cut the tentacles.
all right. Make an attack roll, please, with your axe.
$13.
13 hits. Roll damage.
$11.
11 points of damage. So you bring your axe down. It hits the tentacle, but it does not slice all the way through. It kind of like cuts it enough to like for it to like hang a little lower and like droop. But it's still attached to the beacher and it's still dragging it by its now like half partially severed tentacle. And there is another tentacle attached to him intact.
Yeah. Okay. So it's just not gonna do. Well, I've already committed
Presumably,
to this, so
presumably, if you keep on fucking hacking at it, you might be able to.
you might be able to get it out.
Presumably, because you got it halfway hanging off, but there's still another tentacle, and you still got to hit that thing again.
Yep. I'm gonna try to start doing that before Kara kills it. So I'm gonna try to cut it again.
Okay. So you're gonna make another attack. $15 hits.
15. $11 again.
So with that, you're hitting that same tentacle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you cut the tentacle off. It's still embedded in him, but now it's just like this, like it's almost like this flailing, bleeding tail, just whipping all over the place as the cat looks at you.
I'm not sure if it works, but tongues supposedly anyone can understand my language, but I have no idea how this is gonna go. I'm just gonna look at him. I'm gonna say, "You drop him, I'm gonna kill you. Find your cubs and kill them too."
Nothing.
I'm pretty
It
sure
doesn't
it
seem to
won't.
be reacting to you. It's just as it's trying. It's using the other tentacle to like drag Bajak back.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't know. They don't understand language.
Yeah, most likely not. I was just trying. I'll end my turn.
Yeah, my command didn't work against them.
Okay.
I
Kira.
also point. I've already told the kids to shoot after their brother gets healed, and
Okay.
I'll tell Kira.
Yep.
Kira, help!
Keep that.
Been helping.
Keep that in mind, Flint, that you gave that command.
Okay.
Okay, I turn around. I see the monster fucking trying to take one of my kids away. I start screaming and shoot at it.
Okay, roll the attack.
Ooh, 11.
Yeah. So when you turn around, Kira, you see the creature. One of its tentacles is flailing back and forth, just gushing blood everywhere. As one of the other tentacles is embedded in Bajak's back. He was unconscious on the ground, being dragged backwards. As Flint is just swinging his axe like a fucking madman.
Good God.
What was it? 11.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna add my bardic inspiration.
All right.
About that. Wowee. 1.
So 12. So
Yeah.
you let that arrow loose, and like in your panic and your rage, you just shoot high, and you're just not focused on the shot.
Okay, I shoot again.
Okay.
Okay, 19. There we go.
19.
Mm-hmm.
That hits.
Okay, that is 13 damage.
Okay.
Does it drop? the
Nope,
shot?
it's still holding on. The arrow just goes right into its shoulder, but it's still trying to drag him away.
Fuck. Okay. I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, and like trade spots with Shalens.
Okay.
Apparently fall over. I'll forward move towards the monster, try to get it to fuck off. And have Avers just turn around and like try to move closer, maybe scared away. She doesn't have any reactions that are fancy, so that's it. I end my turn.
Okay. Damien, I need you to roll a perception check, please, as you're the only one facing this direction.
What about Shalens?
Shalens is not. Shalens is very focused on doing, like, obeying your commands, getting out of the way, like you just told her to.
Okay.
Are you muted, David?
Oh, that one. My bad.
Okay. You don't. you're just focused on holding this, taking care of this panther and making sure it can't take the horse away. What are you doing?
Swinging at it.
Keep hacking away with that axe, man.
Yep. Is it still displacing?
Yeah.
Okay, so it breaks even then, because I still got that thing on. So, 18 plus 8, I think. So, yeah. I'm assuming that hits. Where's my D8? That didn't roll. Okay, let's try that. I'd like the 8, but it didn't roll. There we go. Okay, 5 plus 5, 10 damage. Slashing if that matters.
Okay, what was the
attack?
Yeah, it was 18.
18 plus 8. Yeah.
Okay.
So 26.
Yeah. Yeah. So you bury your axe into this thing as it's still like flailing, trying to get out of your grapple. Just hissing at you and trying to drag this horse away. Still. What are you doing? Is that it?
I'm just keep holding it. So.
Okay. Carrick.
Hello. So what I want to do is I want to walk 5, 10, 15. Can I move into the space
you'd be
directly south of it?
No, you can't. You'd be squeezing between the panther and that horse, and they're both
but
very large.
Okay, I can go here.
Yeah.
Okay. What I want to do is I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Bajak.
Okay.
With which spell? Which level? With a second level spell slot. So he will heal for 2d4 plus 4. So I'm rolling that. That's a 2 and a 3 plus 4, so that's 7. No, that's 9.
So what is it? You just said so many numbers. I don't even know.
I healed Bajak for 9 hit points.
Okay.
And I just yell, "Wake up, Master Bajak!"
And as you just and he just starts screaming in pain from these as he comes to consciousness, but still has these tentacles embedded in his back, and he's just screaming on the ground, begins flailing around.
And I would like to. I just kind of mutter to myself, "Let's try this again." And I try and hit the the thing with my warhammer. Is this at disadvantage?
It is not at disadvantage.
Nice. That's a 18 plus something.
That's a hit. And
Nice.
yes, Flint. The kids are all just screaming and panicking, and they're just freaking out, and they're trying to figure out what to do. But as
So they don't heed the command.
yep, as they're drawing their spears and getting ready to just huck their spears at this thing.
So he takes 8 bludgeoning damage, and then he also takes. Oh, excuse me. He takes 9 bludgeoning damage, and then he also takes 3 fire damage. And at the start of his turns, he needs to make a Constitution saving throw. If he fails, it takes 1d6 fire damage. On a successful save, the spell ends, or if it uses an action to put out the fires, or some other effect douses the flames, such as the target being submerged in water.
Okay, so it needs to make a save. Is that what I heard?
At the start of its turn, con
Okay.
save, correct.
Okay. So how much damage did it take this turn?
9 plus 3, 12. If you need me to break down the damage types, let me know.
Nope, I'm good. Okay. Sounds good. Anything else?
I'll end my turn. Actually, yeah, I can't do anything.
Okay. So after that happens, the kids have now pulled out their spears, and they just huck them all in unison at the creature. I need somebody to roll minus Bajak. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 D4, please.
Soup!
Soupy boy, get a
I'm
64.
rolling this?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're trying to include you in the session.
Oh, okay.
He had his own session the other day.
Yeah, I'm not. Shit, I don't have enough deep. Wait, do I?
Use
Six.
three on your
I'll
side
give you
right
some. I'll
there.
give you some. Have my magic.
You don't have enough D. What?
Alright, I have enough D4s. Wait, how many do I need? 6?
64.
D.
All the kids
1, 2,
except
3.
Bajak are throwing spears.
Fuck yeah, fuck them up! 18! That's a lot of 4s!
There you go.
Nice. Good shit.
As they're all just screaming in Orcish, and some of them kind of breaking in a little bit of Common as they huck these spears. Two of the kids are like reaching for Bajak, trying to grab him and pull him back. With that, Damien, what you see is that one panther that ran away before, no longer frightened, returns 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, grabbing the horse, 2 tentacles in the mouth, and as the other panther that you're holding onto releases, starts dragging it back into the woods.
I call out that that's happening. Let everyone know.
And as you know, as it gets closer, you can hear that there's this low guttural like purring sound coming them. These creatures have been communicating. Right. This is very clearly a pact, and it's just dragging it back 5, 10, 15 into the woods. The one that is attached to Bajak goes to just, now that he's squirming around, it takes a bite at him.
He's gonna take an opportunity attack from Sentinel.
For attacking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. He might still be on fire too.
That's a hit. 8. How much did you heal Bajak for, by the way? 9?
Shit. Yeah, that sounds about right.
So he takes another 5 piercing damage. So he's at 4 health. And as it bites him, Flint raises his what was that? What were you hitting him with?
The axe that I have in my hand.
Okay. You bring that down, severing the last tentacle, but now Bajak's actually in the thing's mouth, and it's just like the 2 tentacles are flailing around, bleeding, but the thing's holding onto Bajak, and it's trying to drag him away. So 14.
Its speed is 0 because of the attack opportunity.
I don't know what you just said. I can't hear you. You're whispering.
Sorry.
Its speed is 0
because of Sentinel.
Because of Sentinel?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
If you
Okay.
if you hit it, its speed 0.
It also took 14 damage. Not sure if it's.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Is it still on
No
fire?
one taking my fucking kids. Without
And
me
it is
fucking
on
slaughtering
fire,
them.
so it needs to make a
Yeah.
con save.
Yeah. DC 15. Get fucked, thingy. Fuck.
19. But
Alright, it's no longer
as
on
it
fire.
burns through the fur, it gets to the point where it just stops burning, and it's shaking it off. And it goes to drag him, but it's like just looking hurt and wounded, and it's trying to get away, but it can't as it's trying to drag Bajak. The last panther moves back down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Running right by you, Flint, after you swing. And that ends the creature's turns.
Fuck them up.
Flint, you're up. Alright. Holster the axe, put my hand right on top of its head, and just blast a magic missile onto it.
Okay, do it. Roll damage.
Thank you for being a friend.
11.
11. And as you kind of put your hand right on it, just poof, 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 and the thing just goes limp, drops dead. Releasing
Alright, I'm
Bajab.
gonna start.
You trip and fall.
Vola trips you as you run by. Sticks are like out.
Okay. Alright. Is that on your turn? Can't hear you. Can't hear you now.
Yep. Nuno?
Daddy Portuguese.
Daddy Portuguese, where'd you go?
What happened?
Daddy
Anyone have a good
Portuguese.
Nuno impression?
Daddy
That's
Portuguese. Alright, well, we'll let him finish after. Kira, what are you doing?
Okie dokie. Oh, my one with Hunter's Mark died, so I'm gonna turn around. Bonus action, Hunter's Mark. This one. And I'm shooting at him, trying to make him drop Nixie.
Okay.
$21.
Hits.
Nice. 17 damage.
Okay. Arrow lets loose again. Right into the fucking shoulder.
Get fucked.
Get fucked.
Shoot that again.
Fucking kid.
23. Alright, and that's 12 more damage.
Okay. Alright, second arrow. Right next to the first, like actually more in the neck this time. But it's still dragging the horse.
Damn it, alright. I'm gonna have Wolverine start moving around the tent. 20, 25, 30. What's their movement speed? Oh, 50. Alright. And this one is the frightened one, right?
Correct.
Okay, so it can't move towards her.
Correct.
Okay, and I will end my turn.
Okay. Damien, what are you doing?
So to clarify something, I accidentally gave Sarah Bardic Inspiration twice when she didn't even use the first one. So
Yep.
do I still have that one?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna punch this thing again. Canceling out the disadvantage.
Fucking punch it.
Well, not punch it. I'm gonna hit it with my battle axe, but yeah.
Hit it with your butt.
4 plus 8 is a 12. I'm pretty sure that misses.
12 is a miss.
And that is it for the moment.
Okay. Carrick, what are you doing? You just watch this one just get blasted in the head and die right in front of you. You see Flint kind of run past around you and to the kids. What are you doing?
Can I even? I don't think I can get there.
You could move.
I can't.
You can move here.
Yeah, but that would be 4, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Just slide under Wolverine. She's tall.
I don't think I can.
You
do
can go
that.
prone and crawl under her.
Oh Jesus Christ! Even the prone. Is Nixie still in?
Getting dragged away.
How is that accurate? How far Nixie is?
It's 5, 10,
I think it's
15,
that
20,
plus another
25,
10.
30 feet from Shalens.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 45, 50. You said 25 feet from Shalens?
30 feet from Shalens.
30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Did it seem like Nixie was unconscious or
No.
super dead?
Nixie is unconscious currently, but it looks like she's about to be dead. She's been unconscious for some
Alright.
time.
Healing word! 60 feet! It's my fucking last first level spell slot. So Nixie's gonna get 1d4 plus 4. That's... Man, these horses get fucked.
God, I did not expect these fucking displacer beasts to give us this much trouble. Holy shit.
Well, maybe somebody wasn't taking a goddamn nap.
So
I'm not taking a nap. This is valuable information.
I also had
It's a lot of-
Yeah, so
lot of hit
that
points.
all that information that Abot gathered is like happening. He's gathering it right now.
Alright, Nixie heals 5 hit points for what it's worth.
Okay.
You gotta break the grapple.
And then... Yeah, good luck, Nixie. I did what I could. Toll the dead. You know what? Toll the dead 60 feet. So I'm gonna hit the fucking beast as well that is dragging Nixie. So wisdom saving throw.
All right. Let's do it to it.
I could cast guiding.
15.
I get the feeling that the
Fuck.
skinning session, that the skinning lesson they're gonna get next morning is gonna be very entertaining.
Yeah, so it meets, so it beats.
Okay.
So I'm actually gonna move. I'm gonna move, since we seem to got a lot of meat in the front, I'm actually gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25?
Just left in the
Can I move here?
What was that?
No.
What was that, Nuno?
Nothing.
He was complaining.
Oh.
Alright,
I'm
fuck it.
backseat gaming and I shouldn't do that.
25. Yeah.
All right. Is that in your turn?
That ends my turn.
Okay. So as Nixie comes back to consciousness, starts flailing around, you see the panther just take its mouth and just bite down.
That's fucked up.
Let's see how much damage. Because you healed her for 5.
Yeah!
Yeah. And you hear it crunch as Nixie yet again goes limp.
God damn it, Nixie.
And the creature just continues to back away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Dragging her into the woods. Now out of line of sight behind trees in the darkness.
That's fucked up, Frank.
The one that you're struggling with, Damien, is trying to break free yet again.
Yeah, good luck with that, bud.
Fail.
Do I even need to roll with that?
No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Anything else that needs to happen? Yeah. This one goes to run away. 5, 10. Are you gonna take that sentinel attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna punch it in the face
Okay.
because I don't have a weapon.
And then it can't move, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb. I hate sentinel.
Essentially, I'm gonna grab it by
Sentinel
the
is so overpowered. Holy shit.
Funny, so it takes instead of 1, it takes 2, so it takes 7 damage.
Sounds like
from
you
the
just...
punch.
Sounds like you just need to kill Flint.
I think I'm gonna.
Need to deal with Flint.
Yep. Alright. So 7 damage.
Yeah, and I'm gonna essentially punch it and hold it.
You have to roll an attack, don't you?
essentially.
I don't know why I just added
I
that.
did. I rolled an actual 20.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
there you go.
it's got disadvantage. Remember?
Yep.
Frank, you're the one that gave the grapple sentinel whip to.
Yeah.
Flint.
21
So
instead, so it
hard.
takes 6 instead of 7.
I'm okay with it. It was 6 damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, I'm choke holding
Yeah.
the beast.
So you grab it and you're just kind of holding it in place. Boop, 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 boop. So as you guys are both just grappling these panthers, and that other one's just dragged the horse away. Kira, what are you doing?
Oh, I still got it.
Oh, you got another action? You gonna keep going?
No, that was an opportunity attack.
Yeah, it can't do anything. It's fucking staying there. Like it can't do anything.
Yeah, no, now it's my turn.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
sorry. Oh,
reaction
sorry.
thing.
I forgot your blue.
My time.
Yeah.
He did all of that on someone else's turn.
Yeah. Fucking ridiculous.
Frank over here with his cancer cough.
Yeah.
The tart juice.
All right,
I
Flint.
guess I'm gonna grab my axe and go for booming blade on it.
Behead that bitch.
No longer disadvantage because he got hit. Okay, that's a 20 to hit.
Okay, hits.
Nice, that's 16 damage. 5-edit force, and if it moves, it takes another 2d8. And bonus action, hit it again. Okay, that's a 13 to hit.
It hits.
Takes another 9.
Okay. 9.
And
So as you're just
that's
kind of holding this thing in place, just fucking again with the axe, just hacking at it. It's fucking. It's just fucking beating the shit out of it.
Hell yeah. Alright.
Kira,
That's
what are you
my turn.
doing?
Alright, I'm going to shoot at the one that has Slayer's Eye on it.
All right.
I just see Flint beating the shit out of it, and I'm trying to shoot like under his shoulder or whatever.
Yeah, you're shooting over the kids' heads too.
That's a 17.
Okay,
hit.
hits. Yep.
Alright, that's 12 damage.
Okay.
Is it still up?
Yeah, but it's fucking gushing blood. It's going lethargic. It's barely moving.
Good.
It's
shoot it again.
it's like a gazelle that's losing the will to live.
Yikes. What is with all the gazelle analogies?
There's been 2 gazelle analogies.
Oh, that's 11.
You got an
But
11.
I have my wolves grab him with their reaction, and add +3 to my roll.
Okay. There you go.
Hell yeah. Maybe 6 more. That's 17 damage.
All right. And as he let loose that last arrow, and it whizzes right over Flint's shoulder as he's holding it and just hacking it, arrow just comes in right through the eye, and the thing just goes limp dead. Both
Okay.
tentacles drop to the ground.
Alright, I'm gonna move 5, 10, 15. And end my turn.
Okay.
Oh, bonus action, move my Slayer's Eye.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Damien, you're up.
Punching it. That hits.
Okay.
Don't I have a thing that looks? Isn't that a crit on the thing? No, I don't have that anymore. That was yeah. Yeah. So that hits. 19 plus 8. Where is my 8? Five plus 5. That's 10 slashing damage.
Okay. Again, just hacking at it. Hacking away at this thing as you're holding it still.
That's my turn.
All right.
Actually, yeah, that's my turn.
Carrick.
Yes. Now you said I can't see that fucking weird ass wolf shit, but how much can I really not see it?
I don't know what you're saying when you say weird ass wolf shit.
The fucking Blink Panther, whatever.
Oh, the
these
Blink
things are called.
Panthers.
Yeah. Like if I
It
move
has
five-
backed out down into the forest, into the darkness. And the thing is pitch black. Like you have no line of sight. It's in the woods, so you can chase it and try and find it.
So would you say that it's been crawling in the dark?
It is crawling in the dark.
What about
I
skin?
have advantage on checks for trying to find it if you want to change it.
Sorry, I was just making a Hoobastank reference. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. Actually, this is interesting. Yeah, I say to Kira, we need to find Nixie, and, fuck, I didn't use anything. I guess I cast, I don't really have much I can do. I guess I cast Toll the Dead on this little fucko over here. The only fucker I can see, the only panther I can see.
Okay.
DC 15 Wisdom save. Although if he has Bane, that'd be minus 1d4, right?
How long does Bane last?
10 rounds.
1 minute, so 10 rounds.
Okay.
So we're getting close, but not quite.
Frank,
What's up? Sorry, I wasn't.
you gotta roll the save throw.
Oh, my bad. I was reading something.
It's okay. Stop looking at fucking Literotica.
I'm playing other video games. So I guess.
You're looking at Literotica.
The renowned explorers.
They've
Yeah, I'm
got
playing
good
around
shit.
Explorers.
Yeah,
that's a fail.
buddy. All right. So I'll roll my 2d12. All right, 7. It's a solid
Okay.
above a 6.
Jinx it.
Yeah. All right. He takes 10 necrotic damage from my booming necrotic damage.
10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get fucked, kid.
All right. Now what?
I yell over to Kira. I can throw some light on an arrow if you want to shoot it into the thing to track it. Or if you've got magic on it,
She's
whatever.
just giving up on Nixie.
What? No, she said we could track it.
I didn't know I could reply. It's his turn.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Okay. So is that end your turn, Kirk?
That ends my turn.
Okay.
My
So
motherfucking
the
turn.
creature is just getting like used and abused right now, and it's still like swinging out, trying to break out of this grapple, just trying to survive. Just trying to survive.
Hang on, let's interrogate.
All right.
Who sent
roll,
you?
roll it up.
Somebody's got to have speak with animals, right?
Nope.
So,
Doesn't break out.
They're not animals.
Because no, I'm doing this right. Breaking out of the grapple is an action, right?
It is.
Okay.
An attack is the grapple. It's a special attack to grapple and to shove, but to get out of a grapple, it's an action.
Or if they have an attack, or they like shove you more than 10 feet, I think, it'll start up another grapple
Yes.
check.
But it's a weird thing.
Okay.
Yeah, to break out of the grapple is an action.
Yeah. So it does not. It does not break out. Just flailing around, trying to get free, trying to survive. Can't do it. Flint, you're up.
Okay. I see that the creature is well held. I'm gonna move towards Bajok.
Okay. Nuno, you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay, sorry. I said I move to Bajok. I get down on one knee, start seeing his wounds. I say, Bajok, are you okay? How many fingers am I holding up? How are you feeling? Just making sure that he's okay. And,
At this point, when you get over to him, he's laying face down. The other kids are all carrying to him. You see Lortar and Vola like leaning over him, like they're grabbing the ends of the tentacle that are still embedded in him, and they like start to pull it, and then he screams, and then they let go, and they're like trying to figure out what to do. He's in a lot of pain. He's teetering on the edge of consciousness. He's not really responding to you. He's just screaming in pain while he's got these fucking serrated edge tentacles embedded in his back.
Okay, I'll say, don't take it out yet. Carrick! Carrick, I need help! And that's the end of my turn.
Okay. Kira, you're up.
Okie dokie. Shit. Okay. I'm just gonna shoot the one that Damien's wrestling with.
Okay.
You can put bonus hunter's mark on it and roll 2d6.
Well, I'm gonna hunt down the other one.
Oh, the other one has hunter's mark? It does.
Yeah. That was like a 24 to hit. So 13 damage.
It's displacing, so you have.
You have disadvantage right now. 'Cause it's
Disadvantage.
displacing.
Oh. Okay, 16 to hit.
Okay.
You want me to re-roll the damage?
Nah. What was the damage?
13.
15. Okay.
Okay, and does it stop displacing now?
Yep.
Nice. I shoot
You've been
the
beating the
damage.
shit out of it. It hasn't been displacing. Or is it just because she's got extra attack?
Say that again.
I said, what's the reason that it stops displacing?
Every turn
Does
it stops
hit.
when it gets hit.
I've been beating the shit out of it.
Yeah, and every time top of the round happens, it goes back. So it's just because of where you're falling in the.
The initiative.
After its turn, it starts displacing again,
And that's another 18 damage.
and you've been the only one hitting it, so
Yeah. Gotcha.
another 18 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 2 arrows.
Okay, and then I have Wolverine, 5, 10, 15, 20. And is it an action to like climb up on top of her?
Yes. I would consider it an item interaction.
Item
Oh,
interaction.
that's.
So you get a free item interaction if you want to climb up.
Okay, yeah, I want to get on her back.
Okay.
So it's 15 feet of movement.
Yep.
So 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50.
Okay. So you're just chasing it? Or are you doing anything to try and track it?
I want to try to track it, but I
Okay.
don't know if that's like an action or.
Yeah, it will be your next turn.
Okay, yeah.
So you kind of, Volrune runs by, you grab an antler, swing up on top, and start sprinting, have her sprint into the woods, chasing after Nixie. Damien.
Yeah, so as I see Kira running off, I just yell to her, I say, may your eyesight be true, I'll heal the children, as I'm punching the fuck out of this thing. And I give her my last Bardic Inspiration,
Okay.
Thanks.
since I tried to double up on it earlier accidentally.
Yeah.
Okay, so make an attack roll. It's not displacing, correct? Because she
It
already
is
hit
not displacing right now.
Hell yeah, I get advantage then. Thank God. 4. Oh, that was almost 1. 16 plus 8.
That's a hit.
Okay. I saw it teeter towards the 1 and I was like, no. So 2 plus 5 is 7 damage.
Okay. And at this point, it's just bloody and battered, just hacks and cuts and arrows embedded in its body, and it's again starting to go limp, barely able to fight back.
Fucking alive.
Yep. Carrick, you're up.
Okay. Good luck, Lady Kira. I run over this way. 5, 10, 15. What is it, Brother Flint? That my accent really got fucked up there, but I don't know. Can we have a little conversation or no?
Yeah,
Is
no,
it-
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. If you're not going to take an action, you guys can exchange a couple words.
Okay. I'll tell him. I need you to heal him. I'm gonna give him some letter to bite, and I'm gonna rip the tentacle, but I need you to be healing at the same time, or else it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker, might knock him out again.
It's probably gonna hurt anyway, but okay.
Yeah, but with the healing at the same time, I'm hoping that it's less.
Okay, give me another 6 seconds and I'll move closer.
Okay, I'll get ready for that.
Okay.
I guess that ends my turn.
All right. And so the panther, with its last gasp of air, is no longer struggling trying to get free. It's actually the two tentacles are just swinging wildly and coming down on you.
I rolled Bane at -1.
Okay. -1.
16 AC, so.
Yeah, so that
probably
is
still
one hit. 13 points of piercing damage as it lands on your chest, bedding them with those serrated edges. And then it pulls you around when it does that, trying to bite you as well.
Yeah, let me make my con save real quick. I make it. So then I gotta roll. Since it's a new attack, do I re-roll my Bane dice?
Yeah.
Fuck. Another 1.
Okay. 7 plus 6. And as it's trying to pull you around, you're able to just fight it, and it just can't get its head to you as it's like snapping and just hissing. Flint, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to grab my hammer, trusty, and I'm gonna take the leather headband from the essentially the thing that holds onto the hand, and I'll look to Bajok and say, "Look, you're gonna be okay. Bite this. It's gonna hurt, but you're gonna be okay." I put the letter like close to his mouth so he bites it.
Yeah, so he takes it and he bites down on it. Just tears just streaking out of his face, his scrunched orcish nose, and his like face is just covered in dirt from being face down in the dirt here. And there's just his back is just covered in blood with these two tentacles hanging off it. His bare shirt and like, his bare chest and just his shoulders just totally limp on the ground, outstretched.
Okay. I'm going to essentially grab the tentacles, wrap them around my wrist ones, both of them, and get ready to rip as soon as like Carrick starts healing him.
All right, you're just gonna rip him out.
Yeah, as soon as Carrick like starts healing, so that the wound doesn't go into essentially shock.
Okay.
I'm gonna try my best.
So you're gonna ready that action. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right, Kira.
Alright, I'm going to try to track the monster.
All right, make a survival check, please.
Okay, and I get advantage because of Hunter's Mark. Okay, that's 18 plus 5, so 23. Alright, 23.
So, two things you see. You see a blood trail and kind of disturbed grass and bushes that's kind of leading down deeper into the forest. And then you hear Volrune whisper into your mind, "The scent, I can smell it." As she continues to run in the direction, carrying you along with her.
Okay. Can I have her dash? Is that
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
So as she's running full speed, after about 6 seconds or so, you see that the trail leads into this kind of like very thickly dense very dense underbrush of vines and like thorn bushes and stuff, and kind of just pulls through it. As you look in, I need a perception check, please.
Okay.
And if you need, Bardic Inspiration works on checks.
Yeah. It says with Hunter's Mark, I have advantage on a Wisdom perception check to find it.
Yep.
Does that count?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So you have advantage.
So
Nice! Hunted!
that's a 14 or... Okay, 14.
Okay, so what you see, first thing you see is in a tree above you, two, not glowing, but just amidst the darkness, just two yellow dots up on a branch, looking in your direction, very close to the branch, but up in it, and you hear the sound of It almost sounds like sloshing.
Sloshing?
Yep.
That's fucked up.
No.
The wolf's dead, boys.
That's
Sorry.
fucked up.
Rest in peace.
God damn it.
And pieces too.
Shut up. That's not nice. She was a good pony. Can I tell if it's the one that I have my hunter's mark on? Like, can I feel the magic on it?
The whatever those 2 yellow dots are up in that tree is not the one with hunter's mark. That feels like it's deeper behind into these thorn bushes.
Okay, so there's at least 2 left.
Like it just feels like it's out in front of you. You can't really tell. Like you can't like pinpoint it, but it's not above you.
Okay.
And it just wouldn't make sense based on the trajectory and the of like the drag in the blood. But like you can't really like feel hunter's mark. It's not really how that works.
Okay. What the sloshing sound? Did it sound like a wild animal eating?
Roll a nature check.
Because like I hear the wolves eat all the time.
Roll a nature check.
That's +0.
Or a
18.
history.
Does she have
nature.
advantage because of the favorite enemy or not? I'm not remembering.
This is not a check against an enemy. This is just a knowledge check essentially.
18 +0.
Yeah, so this is definitely multiple creatures eating something.
Oh.
Some of the sounds are like less loud. It sounds like maybe small bites.
Eat the cubs.
Yeah. Okay.
Kill
I'm
the
just
mother,
gonna.
take the cubs.
No, I'm gonna turn around and go back to the group.
Fireball that shit.
I don't have that.
Okay.
That sucks.
All right, Damien.
Punch it. You're muted.
My bad. I thought I unmuted and instead I muted.
Good job.
16 +8. Sweet.
Hit.
D8. Where are you? This one's bigger. 8 +5. This better fucking kill it.
How much damage?
13.
Yeah. So how are you killing this thing?
I've been just like swinging at it, like
You've just been
chopping
you've been holding it in
pretty
place,
good. Yeah.
hacking at it for like
This-
at least like almost a minute. You've just been hacking at
Yeah.
this thing.
At this point, I actually spin it around to get it on its throat, and I just like kind of imagine doing a chin up, except for I'm doing it against this thing's throat with my battle axe until I hear its neck snap.
Okay. Yeah. So you just kind of like force yourself around the back of it and take your axe and just kind of push it up against the throat until you hear limp.
Yeah, and then I toss it to the side, roll on my back, and I just go, fucking hell.
And with that, we are no longer in combat.
Thank God.
I
Oh,
did
so
not
they
think
kinda
that those fucking displacer beasts would give us this much trouble.
They have a
Holy
lot
shit.
of HP.
And
Yeah,
we're
they
going
were-
to take a 10-minute break.
Oh, I need
Neat.
food.
Get my dick sucked.
I'll be right back.
Make sure to water your dick, Frank.
Make it
Wait,
grow.
so
Let it
it's not
grow,
all the time?
bitch.
Let it grow, let it grow.
Blah, 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 blah.
Good job. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we only lost one horse.
I can fabricate a new one, probably. I think that's how
not
that
how.
works.
How does
That's not
that
how it
work?
works. You
I think that'll
cannot
work.
fabricate a whole damn horse.
Out of raw materials, sure.
No, you
Okay.
can't create life with fabricating.
Well,
That's
we might.
I don't.
I just realized we
compatible
might have
horse.
to leave them behind anyway. Because
Oh,
they
because we
might
can take
not.
them on the boat.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go on the boat.
You know
I mean,
what?
they'll
That's
graze.
Depends on the size of the boat. Some boats are able to take horses on their.
They'll graze, you dumb fuck.
They'll graze.
Water.
We're not putting them on the boat. We'll just leave them behind.
Right. I thought you meant they'll graze on the fucking ocean. I'm like, you dumbass.
No, I mean,
I'm
I don't
saying
know
that
if...
some boats have the capacity to take
Sure.
horses.
Yeah,
sure.
I just
Obviously,
don't
they
know
don't have to take the food for them.
I just don't know if this is going to be one of those boats, is the thing.
I wish I had summon seed or whatever the fuck that spell is.
That's a Paladin spell.
Yeah.
Okay,
If
I'll be-
Carrick ever
We
dies,
didn't lose
I
the kids.
think I'm gonna use a paladin.
Oh man, that was intense.
It was. Ooh, I'm so glad the kids didn't die. So bloody glad. And we almost lost them. We almost lost the jog.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
he,
you fucking did, dumbass.
if he had 2 failed death saving throws too.
Well, hey, we didn't lose any of the kids. This was a success.
Yep.
Lost a horse.
We almost got trauma in the middle of the session today. Full on trauma for everyone.
Yeah, you nearly fucking like killed Kira.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, if the kids died?
I mean, Kira was never
Yeah.
in danger.
Oh no, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
I
glad.
think it's
I
just
like
too
the high
early.
stress, and we knew that taking the kids with us would be super dangerous. So
I think this
This
is
was
where
all
it
according to
shines the
plan.
most, having the kids and the horses, because it's like, sure, I don't think these displacer beasts even have a chance to kill us, but we have to protect the kids and the horses, right? So it's like, you know, it's like the vulnerable fucking. There's still a way to lose, even if
Sure.
there's not a way for our party to die, right?
oh no, 6 displacer beasts could at least like down one of us without that much issue. They attack twice, they deal a lot of damage, and they have a lot of hit points, which means taking care of each one is hard. Which means if they like can focus on us and decide to focus one person.
I mean,
then
we
might
have
be
a
fucked.
lot
The
of-
fact is, with
You guys have a
possible
lot of
position-
AC.
We have a lot of AC and we have a lot of tools to shut down like a single target, right? Even with A-Bot not there, you guys just shit out damage, and you have so much battlefield control with the grapple, whip, and sentinel, right?
I'm so glad that worked though. Actually, controlling like every time like anyone made like a move that made an opening around the kids, my heart fired up. I was like, no.
Between that and the way that Kira used Valrune and Shalen's, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm so glad for the wolves.
Like the wolves
the
were
first
being
time
were
I'm
literally
so
being
glad
like
for the wolves.
hurting dogs.
Right. 100%.
That was dope.
The kids did 18 damage. I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, they threw their spears as hard as they could.
That's about how much I
Hold their
did.
weight. I mean, it's more than I did, so.
You're valuable for a different reason, right now.
About
What?
average damage for A-Bot though.
That is true. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, I think that's a little below the A-Bot every combat curve, the amount of damage I do. Because I don't really do damage spells. Like, I only ever cast those big boy, you know, disables and illusions. And if I do Eldritch Blast, it's like, oh great, I roll 2d10, I roll a 2 and a 3. 5 damage, right? Or create Bonfire, 2d8.
Right.
Oh man,
I'm pacing back
that
and
was
forth
a fun
with
combat. I enjoyed
because
that.
of this combat, I swear to God.
What'd you say?
I'm pacing back and forth because the adrenaline is still here.
Really? That
I
was a
think it
fun.
was a good combat.
He was so stressed about the fucking kids, dude.
It's fun.
I just hugged
Those
the
are
cat.
my babies!
Listen,
I'll
I'm
kill
invested
you,
in
and
that.
then I'll
You
hunt
can't-
down these children. Or your pups. Fucking hell.
No, I said that because I was trying to scare it if it could understand me, and because I literally just killed 2 of them, I was trying to be like, hey, I can do this, and I will do worse.
I mean,
It didn't
honestly,
understand.
who knows if those things could understand us, right?
Like, I just tried. I didn't know if it would work or not. Just for it.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
wasn't
it's not
even-
like these things are beasts. They're proper,
Well, last session I cast command and it didn't work because I didn't understand language, but I figured it'd been a week, so.
So maybe they would have learned by now?
No, I figured he might have just forgotten.
Oh, okay.
I just know that next the fucking survival skinning lesson in the morning, given by Kira, is going to be very cathartic for the kids.
How much more time do we have to get to the boat?
2 days, I think. This was the first day since we've.
How far are we, like, travel distance away? Did we have a ballpark for it?
I'm not sure. I have to ask Frank.
We may have to skip a night of sleeping, just in case.
If we do it, we do it.
I love it when you call me Senorita.
What's the name of that song?
Senorita.
Oh.
A man sings about how he loves it when he gets called Senorita. Which is kind of what the song's about.
I was muted. So, Soup, you mentioned having to skip a night of sleep. I think, I'm pretty sure Damien might have a level of exhaustion and we completely forgot about it.
If that's the case, well, we forgot
It's
about it.
possible.
I'm no longer trying to keep track of everyone's stuff anymore.
Especially if it'd give us an advantage, right? Because we could just.
I mean,
blame
we.
it on Bubba.
What do you mean we
You guys
forgot
fuck up
about
so
it?
often.
It's your job to manage your character.
You guys fuck up so often, I can't keep up. So.
Wait, whoa. What was the last time we fucked up? Aside from this.
I don't know. I have lost count of how
Exactly.
many times Bane will-
We've never fucked up. This is the first mistake
No,
we've ever
never.
made in this campaign.
That's accurate.
38 sessions, baby. Or is it 39? Frank, what session are we on? Frank, you cuck. Answer me. What session are we on?
Should be 39 or 40. Something along those lines.
It's 39 or 40. I don't know which one, though.
Alright. Is everybody back?
Frank!
What?
Answer me.
What?
How many sessions has it been?
This is session 41.
Fuck!
Oh.
Okay, I was wrong both times.
And you made multiple guesses and still fucked it up.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I guess 2 times. I guess 38 and 39. So I was wrong both.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, this is session 40.
Oh,
We were
okay.
right.
I'm a little closer.
I just know that I made a vow that if no one asks me, I ain't gonna go about the rules anymore. No one asks, no one gets told.
Why?
I know that everything I do is up to code. You guys.
Because he doesn't want to manage everyone else, right? I get that.
Hey, Ruppus, why are you being such a bitch right now?
What did I miss?
No.
Alright. So, as Kira returns with Volrune, you kind of find yourselves in the night. The corpses of the panthers around, and the silence of the night kind of cues in as Flint, you take the 2 tentacles in your hands, and you kind of look at Carrick, and the silence of the night and slight whimpering of Bajak below you, with the leather band in his mouth. What
Do
are you
I
guys
see
doing?
this?
Yeah.
Can I?
I run up and yell stop.
What? Kira, he's in pain.
I was gonna. Can I?
The teeth are serrated. You'll rip his skin. Just hold on. I take out my dagger and I try to put it in the mouth and pry upwards to make the teeth come out of his skin.
So you're gonna take your knife and put it between the tentacle and his body, and then
Yeah.
try to pry it out.
Yeah.
So
and
when you
like
go to
just
pry
push
it out, you're gonna be
upwards.
pushing the blade of the dagger into his body. You realize that?
Yeah, I was.
No, just
So-
push it. Just
Well-
move my hand downward to push the blade upward.
She's
You know
having
it's
the
serrated, the
blunt
objective-
side.
The objective of healing it while removing it is because it is serrated, it will create cuts and it will be healed at the same time.
So if you're gonna do it, Sarah, make a medicine check as you're doing it.
Okay. What's my medicine? +2.
So you run up and you tell them to stop, and you just instantly pull your knife out, take a knee, and start sliding it in there. Is anybody stopping her? Or
Yeah, I've been waiting. Just
you got to come on. You got to just say what you're gonna do, man.
everybody's been talking. Hold on, Lady Kira. I actually want to look at this thing and see if it's like dripping anything, or if there's any sort of ooze or liquid.
Roll a perception check or investigation check. What did you roll on that medicine check? Just so I know.
17.
You're in the process of like taking your dagger out, and you're like about to start. Carrick, yells, "Hold on!" and he's looking at it. Are you continuing, Kira?
I wait for a moment until he's done looking at it.
Okay.
That's a solid 4.
So there's a couple different things going on. So these are severed tentacles, and you see that there's this purplish red blood kind of dripping down, and it's just kind of like pooling at like between his skin and the tentacle. You see that the tentacle itself, it's almost just like this flap of flesh kind of up against his body. And it's almost flush, like you can't really see underneath it.
Does it have any smell or odor?
Yes, there's a strong odor, almost like cat piss.
Okay. How broad is this tentacle? Like,
Maybe
what is the width
maybe
of it?
maybe like from edge to edge of like the flap itself, it's 6 inches, and then it's probably like 7 or 8 inches long. It's pretty big. It's like taking up a good portion of his back. 2 of them are taking up good portions of his back.
Right, fairly large. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause, again, he's a child. He's small.
Right. Okay.
Like
all right.
there's a lot. Like if this was a burn, it would be taking up it would be like a first degree or like second degree burn that takes up almost the entirety of his back.
Gotcha.
Like these things are fucking big compared to him.
Yeah. All right. Doesn't seem like there's any poison in this thing. At least as far as I can tell. It smells like shit, but other than that, I think we're okay. What are you doing with the knife?
I'm trying to pop the teeth out straight up instead of ripping it because the teeth are serrated. I
Wait,
don't want to cause him more pain than necessary.
Are there teeth on this tentacle?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's fair. What if
Okay.
we?
He's
what if
just
we, like,
whimpering as you guys are having this conversation over him.
Please do it
I
fast.
cast guidance on him to kind of give him just a little bit of it's okay.
He's
You know,
he's still whimpering, but
That's fair.
Okay, I'm gonna start trying to like pry it out with my knife. I slide it in the flat end between.
as you take
teeth.
the knife and you kind of slowly slide it in between, he just
This is slow down, Jesus.
The other kid starts screaming. Who is it? But as you do that, Lortar runs at you and grabs you, Kira, and starts freaking out in Orcish, yelling, "Stop! You're hurting! You're hurting! You're hurting!"
I look to him and I say, I put both my hands up and I say, calm down. This is the only way it's gonna hurt him, but he's gonna live. Or else he's gonna keep that thing on his body at all times, and he's not. Okay? Lord, I know it hurts to see him, it hurts to him, but it needs to be done, and it needs to be done fast. Okay? Let us work. He'll be okay, I promise.
The kids are all starting to cry. Like, they're all just freaking the fuck out.
Alright,
Gotta do it fast.
okay, fuck it, so I
So
guess
she's
I
got the
cast
knife. She's got the
Right.
knife jammed in there.
So I cast guidance on Kira, and then I pump a 3rd level cure wounds into the kid.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
3d8 plus 4.
Okay. 3d8 plus 4. Roll that up.
Okay, and while you do that, I pry the tentacles out as quick as I can. My knife.
Ooh.
Oh goddamn! That's an 8. That's a 7.
Ooh.
Holy fuck!
All right. What's the total?
It is new.
The total healed is 27.
Okay, so he has 4 health right now. He takes 10, simultaneously being healed for 27. So you pry. He screams as you pull these off, like basically Flint pulls, you wedge, and Carrick heals simultaneously. You pull them off, and you can see for a split moment there's these giant gashes as you pull these tentacles off, and they just kind of flap around in your hands, and there's these giant fucking, like 12 of them on each, gashes in his back that simultaneously, like in an instant, close up as he like slowly stops screaming over that 3-second period.
I'm gonna.
And then he just goes silent, and he's just face down, still breathing.
I pull him into my lap and I start like trying to soothe him in Orcish. Like, you're okay, I'm sorry, it's okay now.
And as you grab him and pull him into your lap, he's just fucking, like, there's just blood, like spit and drool all over, and dirt all over his face. He spits the leather thing out, and there's just drool everywhere. There's just tears everywhere. And as he goes from crying to kind of just like that hyperventilation thing that kids do when they're trying to calm themselves down.
God, kids are gross.
Jesus Christ.
Clearly.
I'm just trying to calm him down. Like, I wipe his face off.
Okay.
Like, I'm just pushing him, trying to make him feel calm. And I gesture for the other kids to come over.
And all the kids kind of come on real close, and they all kind of start touching him on like the chest and on the head. And they're like wiping the snot and the fucking tears out of their face, and they just like touching him.
Oh boy. What time is it?
Probably like 11 or 12 o'clock at night.
Can I grab a pebble and just cast light on it and toss it in the direction that we saw the horse being dragged away?
Yep.
I'd like to do that.
If you throw me one, I'll do it too.
Yeah. So you throw
I can
these.
only cast it at once.
You throw this. You know, you find like a rock, and you kind of like feel it in your hand, jiggle it a little bit, so it's got some weight to it. Cast the light on it and throw it into the woods. Roll perception check.
Yeah, Damien's throwing it in the woods as well, just different
You
direction.
only have one. You only can cast light once, he said.
Yeah, but I also have light.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you throw
That's
one.
what I was getting.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So you throw one in the opposite direction. Roll perception check as well.
I got a 16. Frankenopoulos.
Okay. And then
Where's my
Damien.
D20 go? I'm looking for my D20.
So Carrick, you kind of look out in the darkness, and just you see where you threw it in the direction, you see the blood trail, and kind of just these drag marks of, because it's a fucking horse that just dragged like a full size fucking horse. All you see is woods, bushes, trees, grass.
Okay.
No movement.
I got a nat 1. I'm still adjusting to my new eyes.
Yeah, and you kind of look,
Yes.
and you kind of throw the rock, and you just look, and just kind of just general forest.
It fell in the mud, so it covered the source of the light, and then the lights.
Yeah. So what are you guys doing as Bajak kind of calms down, and it goes from the hyperventilating down into the sniffling?
I'm gonna sit down next to them. Also, like, calm myself down because I'm pretty hyped up too. And I'm gonna wait till they all relax a little bit more, and then I'm gonna say, like, after the moment's passed and they're a bit more stable, I'm gonna say, despite everything you threw together, you worked together, I am very proud of you all. Tomorrow you will skin your prize, but now you need to sleep.
Damien just speaks up. It says, "Is anyone else hurt?"
Shoot. I don't know.
What about like this is like
I'm actually fine.
aside from the dead one?
Dusty. How's Dusty?
Shalens and Dusty.
How's
Uh,
Dusty looking, Frank?
Dusty's got 5 health. Dusty's fucked up. Dusty has
Oh.
just these large lacerations on the back right hip.
I put my hand on it and pump 10 health into his hip
Okay.
using.
And as the laceration closes up, the horse begins to stand a little more straight.
And I give him a pat.
Dusty.
um,
And then I heal myself for another 10 as well. And then I'm out.
how big is Bajak?
Hold on one second.
I know he's the largest of the children.
Yeah, he's about like 5'2" ish.
Okay.
Maybe 90 pounds.
Okay. I was gonna try to pick him up, but
Probably could.
Probably could.
What's your carrying capacity? Like 12 billion?
oh, that's a good question.
I mean, you could probably just pick him up and hold him, you know, like, and kind of rest him on your hip. Like, he would straddle you
Yeah.
and rest him on your hip.
Okay.
90 pounds isn't that much, all things considered.
No, it's really not.
Yeah. Actually, I'll ask him. Can you stand?
He's kind of just like nuzzled in your lap right now, and he just shakes his head no.
Okay.
You don't know. Roll an insight check.
What is my insight? 15.
Yeah, it might not be so much that he can't stand, but he just wants to be held.
Okay. So I look
Probably
at
pretty
the
fucking
others and
scary.
I say, yeah, I say, could one of you please corral the horses? Bring them closer.
Damien will help since I'm right over here.
Okay. Yeah, so you're able to kind of move the horses closer within the tent boundary.
Okay.
And again, just the softness of the night kind of settles in.
Okay. I tell the others, they dragged Nixie into their den. I found the den, but there were at least 2 more adults, and I heard some cubs in the den. I couldn't have fought them all by myself. And they were already eating her, so I couldn't save her.
That's fine. I don't think they'll risk another attack too. They lost at least, according to you, like 80% of the pack, so they'll be smart enough not to come back.
They're gonna lose the rest of them tomorrow.
Are you planning on going after them?
I'm planning on taking Abot and setting fire to their den.
Why?
They're
Because fuck
monstrosities.
them.
They're unnatural.
Aren't we in a rush to do things?
They're 6 seconds away
Okay.
at a dash.
Remember, the kids are still waiting on your lesson tomorrow morning. But, okay. I'm fine with that. Let's get him to bed.
Alright.
I'll pick up the corpses of the creatures and start moving them a little bit away from the camp. Just so they don't wreak the whole camp, but still in a position to be seen by anyone who's keeping watch.
Okay, sounds good.
Before you move him away, can Damien look at one of those? I guess it's like barbs in the tail, or lash, whatever the hell it is.
I don't know what you're asking me.
So that they have tentacles, right?
Yep.
And then there's like hooked, like barbs or whatever.
In
my
the tentacle.
understanding.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a serrated
I've-
knife edge, and there's 12 of
Is
them
it-
on each tentacle.
Is it skinny enough to use as a needle? I don't know how they look.
It's no, it's not. It's not. It's more of like picture a. It's more of a knife. Not. It's a needle is too small and pointy. This is not that.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. I'll help him carry him over, I guess. I don't know. Since I'm like Damien's there.
Okay. So you stack the bodies up. They put the kids in their respective tents.
Did everybody eat?
Yeah, we ate before we
Did we?
spawned. I'm assuming we did because I gave a lot of time for them to do that when we were making camp.
Okay, regardless, I'm gonna, if you can put your cask out, since my food lasts for 24 hours and the water's just good, I'll cast Create Food and Water since I have the spell slot.
Okay.
If you can, again, just I'll put the water in your cask, and I guess the horses can eat if they're hungry, obviously.
I'll put my weapons and everything I have in the cask in the wagon. And you can do
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so you put all that in the wagon next to Abot, who's just still sitting there in sleep mode.
Bastard.
Oh yeah, I collect up my shield as well that I dropped.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody wants me to try and craft something, I mean, I can do that before the night's over.
I think
I
I'm
need
good.
I
I'll
need
take
a,
first watch.
Wait, what do you need?
I need a new sword, like the one you made me before. I gave it to your giant friend.
My
I'm slowly
giant.
turning-
Oh, right, him.
Slowly turning into a southern axe.
Oh, yes, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay, give me an hour. I'll have one cooked up for you.
And then I put my arm. Actually, never mind. That's all I did.
Is it okay if I take last watch? I don't want to leave the Jacques alone right now.
The who? Oh, never mind.
The hurt Babby.
Okay, so you go into the tent with him.
Yeah, I wrote how I... Hold on. Okay, so...
So Damien's not blue anymore, right?
No,
No.
he's a human
Because
now.
Carrick wasn't here.
He looks like the Mountain, if you know who he is from Game of Thrones.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's what he looks like. That's what Soup jokingly said, and I said yes.
Just look at the tabletop model. It looks just like him.
Because I came up with an idea for a sword, but it was when you were blue.
I mean,
You're
I'll just-
darker skinned, right?
Tan.
Yeah, he looks
Tan.
like yeah, he's at least mixed with something else. He's not full blown white.
Right.
So you guys stack the bodies and put things in the wagon. What are you doing? Preparing to try and get some sleep?
Real
I'll
quick,
take first watch.
what
We
actual?
should put a watch.
Sorry. What actual weapon did you need, Damien?
I need a great sword,
A great sword. Okay.
which is 2d6 damage. I believe.
I'm just looking to see the gold cost. Okay.
It's like 50, I think.
Yeah, it is. Oh, good thing I still have a bunch of fucking shit I can use.
Can you? Is it what use? Are you using black metal? I had a stroke.
No, I'm just
It's
using.
just normal shit.
Yeah.
Just
I don't actually know the gold value of black metal. So I've only used it for crafting, like the property stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to upcast Cure Wounds on Shalen's.
Okay.
So that's 2d8 plus 2. Wowie. 7 HP.
Frank, relevant. Did you read any of that stuff I sent you?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
Is some of it relevant to the session?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna send out Ascending.
Okay. I'm pulling it up now.
Only
I
the
need,
first couple paragraphs.
I need
or just,
access. You don't have it set to. You have it set to private. I can't look at it.
Oh, might be. I will change that.
And I tell Shalens I'm sorry she got hurt.
To protect the young. That's all she says.
Oh, okay. Give her a pat.
Mm-hmm.
If we're setting up watch order, I am taking whenever Flint is. As well.
I'll go first, you'll go second though.
Well, I mean, I'm going to talk to you and then go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
It's just going to be during your watch.
Still, we really should set up some kind of watch order. I can't stay
Yeah,
all night.
Carrick will go
Going last.
second.
I guess I will take third.
Yeah, and I'm going last because I gotta stay with the kid until he calms down.
Okay, Frank, you should be able to view it now. I'm just gonna resend anyway.
Whose dice are these?
The magic missile ones are Flint's.
So as you guys are all communing, you start to hear Ivris and Shalens and Vorun just start to bark and howl as they kind of look up at the sky and kind of get comfortable for the night. And then it almost sounds like a chorus of howls kind of just begins to echo through the forest and the swamp.
Other wolves are howling back.
Sounds like it. And it just kind of echoes for some time.
Are those other daughters? I ask them.
And as the howls continue, you hear Ivris whisper to you, "The pack we've left behind still breeds. Not daughters."
I see.
And over time, the howling subsides as the wolves kind of rest their heads and begin to relax. So what are you guys taking for a what are you taking?
Flint, then Carrick, then Damien, then Kira.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
I'm
lunch.
gonna. Yeah, Damien's gonna be talking to Flint during his for just a brief moment and then go to sleep.
Okay. So yeah, during Damien's watch or during Flint's, like during the transition.
Damien's
before he
third,
goes to
Flint's
sleep.
first.
Oh, okay,
So
okay, yeah, so-
I'm gonna be like,
All right. So everybody else gets ready, sets up, and gets in their respective tents. Flint, you have first watch. Damien, what are you guys doing?
I sit down with them, basically, and I say, we need to talk.
Sure. What
You
do you
did-
need? Sorry, still a little shaking.
You did some things that are gonna haunt me for the rest of my life. And it was those things that made me consider not even coming back here.
Yeah?
What you did in that village was a terrible thing. I know you had your reasons, but it shook me to my core. The last time I saw anything like that was in the Shalinstian army. I said I wouldn't come back to anything like that ever again.
I don't know what to tell you. you already know that I regret it very, very much. And that at that moment, I made a misjudgment, and I had for a while stopped seeing people for being people. I'm not sure if we ever talked about where I came from, but I lived below a mountain for all my life and only got out like 3 months away, so I've never really saw or understood the world, never kind of was allowed to. And the more I got out, the more, like, you people here above live like murderers. You, what the things you do up here is beyond anything that I could even understand when I came out. And it kept happening. I kept getting desensitized from the fact that none of you acted, from what I could understand, sensibly. Like, everyone we met was out for our neck for no reason. And there was a lot of shouting. There was a lot of things I could not understand what Kira was saying to them. She drew a weapon. She shot someone. She was in the middle of around 20 people. And I had to get her out. I know that you didn't like it, and I hated having to do that. I'm trying to make up for it. And if it happened again, I would try to do another way, but if it eases your heart, I didn't do it for any sort of power. I just did it because I needed to keep everyone alive. Like, you saw today, even while there were panthers with tentacles hauling around us, some people like broke formation. People tried to do their own thing and kept doing stupid shit, and I keep trying my hardest to keep everyone alive, and it's really hard, and it's wearing me down a lot, and I made a very, very stupid decision because of it.
I understand where you're coming from, but the reason I came back is because I do see potential with this group, and I think that you guys are the best chance I have at achieving my goals. But if something like that happens again, I can't guarantee I'll stick around.
I understand. I also understand if I get what you're saying, and I will definitely try to keep the murder as low as possible. But I'm still, like, my objective is still to maintain Kira and maintain Carrick in their path and safe. And now I'm trying to keep these kids safe, and until I break, because I'm so exhausted. Your surface world is not the world itself, it's you people are crazy. And I'm just tired. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's okay. You can look. I'd like us to be friends, but I just wanted to give you that little warning. And then I pull out the battle axe and I say, you can use this better than I can. Carrick's making me a new sword, so I want you to have this. I hand him my battle axe.
Are you sure? It looks very well made.
It's fine. I prefer a two-hander. I go to my. I start walk. I stand up, start walking to the tent, and go to sleep.
I don't say anything else. I grab the axe and start figuring out how I'm going to holster another weapon.
Hold on 1 second.
Keep watch.
Equipment and items. Okay. I took the axe out of your inventory, David. Nathaniel's carver is now in Flint's inventory.
Oh, mine was just called.
Yeah, I had renamed it earlier.
Oh. Did it get any cool shit along the way?
Nope.
Or is it
It's
just
just
a plus
a battle axe +1.
one? Okay.
Yeah. +9 to hit, and +8 to damage.
Okay. So that you kind of make your way into a tent, and start calling it a night. Flint, you doing anything while you're taking this watch?
Keeping an eye out. I'm as soon as like I comes down to around halfway through the watch, and then there's still nothing like moving around. I'm going to on the ground try to have both my hands, one on my axe, another on my shield, and try to make the motions for spells and try to essentially cast minor illusion through it. But that's all.
Okay. All right. What was that?
Can I catch Damien after I'm done making the sword, but before he goes to bed, or does that not work?
How long does it take you to make the sword?
Hour.
So you could presumably, as you're making the sword, you see him walk into the tent. After it'd be another 30 minutes after you're done, but you could follow. You could see if he's still awake, follow him in there. And
I do that.
Okay. And as you kind of look in, he's probably laying there. Maybe his eyes still open, thinking about the day and thinking about what just happened. But he's still awake.
I use thaumaturgy to cast a quiet knock knock.
David, you're still.
Yeah. He just looks over.
Finish that sword for you. It's and I kind of pull it out. It's very similar to the old one. I took the liberty of making a few changes, and you can see it's very, very similar to the old one. However, the crossbar, whatever you call that, has kind of like a light shade of blue on it. It was a little more appropriate when you were actually blue, but I don't know. Maybe this can serve as a reminder for you in some way. And then the two little silver things on the edge, my paint skills are not great, but they're actually almost little fangs coming off, and they are sharp and pointy at the edges. They kind of hook much like a fang would. It kind of has like a little bit of that curve, and then it kind of hooks over. This I don't know. It's functional, and maybe it'll. I just wanted to custom make it a little more for you, and you're the only person I know that has fangs.
When I smile, you can see that I don't have fangs.
Oh, okay, that's new.
Anymore. He looks entirely different now, right? He's a human now.
Right. So, how did that whole thing go?
I mean, it was a lot shittier than you would expect. The splinters, though, they're actually not too bad. I think I convinced them to not follow us and rat us out.
Well, that's a big plus. Listen, Master Damien, I want to apologize. I've been giving you a hard time ever since you pulled your sword on us after we rescued you from those people. And I know it's a little more complicated than that, but I feel like you have, at least for me personally, earned your place here for whatever here is. And I reach out my hand to shake.
I shake his hand as well. I say, when I originally joined, all I cared about was killing Shalinstans. But over the last, how long has it been? Like 2-3 weeks? 2
Yep.
weeks? Okay.
Yep, about that.
After the last couple weeks, I've realized that I need to broaden what I plan on chopping down.
It's amazing how getting out into the world and doing things that are maybe unfamiliar from what you were doing will change you.
I mean, I've dealt with a lot of shit, and you guys are the first group that hasn't necessarily tried to fuck me over or kill me, so...
I mean, I'll say I can't necessarily speak to the quality of everyone, but I will say, as a group, I more or less trust each of them with my life, and I believe that, for the most part, everyone's intentions are on the light side of the spectrum as opposed to the other side.
I mean, that's what I've been struggling with lately, is essentially figuring out who is good and who isn't. And at the moment, I would say everyone's at the very least neutral or more positive, so...
I mean, I suppose that's all relative as well at the end of the day, right? I mean, you know, I doubt whoever the Shalinstian higher-ups are sitting in an armchair cackling and, you know, stroking their long mustaches.
Maybe
I don't
not,
know.
but I plan on cutting down anyone that is.
That's fair. I think that's a pretty dead giveaway. He's laughing at Ray Passa's thing. Yeah, I don't know. I try and, at least for me, I try and, or do what I can within reason. It's hard out here. As you know, we're obviously, effectively spies and could be murdered at any time, or worse. I didn't sign up for this. I don't think most of the party signed up for this. But here we are, you know, fighting weird eight-legged freaks and all kinds of crazy shit to stop the end of the world.
Yeah, we're in a little bit of a predicament, aren't we?
You could say that. You would be right.
Look, how about this? I watch your back, you watch mine.
That's fair.
He just squeezes his hand again. Thank you for the sword.
I hope it serves you well. Those handguard edges should be functional if you ever need to stab something. So, just remember that.
Okay, so, obviously blue handguard, silvered fangs on the end. What does the actual blade look like?
The blade looks exactly the same as your old blade. Carrick. So I literally took the template of the old blade.
There's a picture in Discord.
And I put blue watercolor over the handguard, and I added in the fang. So it's like it's got that red flames licking up the one side, and the orange flames licking up the other side. But Carrick added a little bit more personalization for Damien.
Yeah, we're just gonna call this sword Blue Fang.
There you go. You
Even
can
though the fang itself isn't actually.
Spicy.
I like it.
Got some punch to it.
Yeah, on my desktop it's saved as Great Sword Part 3, so that sounds a little better.
Hold on, there's a magic sword called Great Sword of Vengeance. Frank, I need.
So, yeah, so just add a greatsword, and then you can actually change the name of it in the customization option. Okay.
I With that, Carrick retires until his turn to watch.
Okay. So Flint, I need a perception check, please. So you kind of watch through the night, keeping special eye on the direction where you know those blink panther creatures were. And as the night goes, no disturbances until Carrick comes to take watch from you.
Sorry, be right back.
Abot. As these hours have passed, and you've been viewing through the mind, through the eyes of William, and he's now retired for the night after you've learned a great deal. You come back from your slumber to see Carrick sitting in the middle of an encampment, tents all around, the horses and the wolves kind of laying on the ground, sleeping. You are awake.
He fully Autobot sort of pulls himself out of himself to get out of sentry mode, and just rotates his head to get a better idea of the surroundings. Are the kids no longer around him at all?
The kids are not around him. You're sitting in the wagon. There's a bunch of different. There's the cask, Flint's cask filled with weapons, and just some other equipment and items in the wagon. And you see a bunch of tents. You don't see any sign of the kids. You just see a pile of these dead panther creatures with these tentacles, and just blood stains and spatter, and then drag marks away. There's a fight here. And kind of in the middle of it all, you see Carrick kind of sitting there.
Is he awake?
Yeah, he's taking a watch. He's kind of just looking around. Carrick, what are you doing as Abot begins to stir?
Hello, Carrick.
Oh, sorry. He
immediately
he
calls up
abruptly turns with his warhammer in hand.
Yeah, but what was he doing? What was he doing before Abot
he's
announces himself?
Probably casting guidance on himself.
Okay.
And he probably had a light in his hand, or he probably had a stone in his hand, that he was just sort of absentmindedly throwing up and down.
Okay.
Do not worry, Carrick. I'm not an enemy. I am Abot.
Yeah, there aren't many people that don't sound like you, Master Abot.
That is good to know.
Wait, that sounds like you. I said that wrong.
In all honesty, I do not care. I learned a great deal, Carrick.
Oh, about what?
Many things. I only have 6 hours, and then I must go back. Carrick, could I ask you a personal question?
You could?
If your god potentially had been lying to you, how would you react? Would it affect your faith?
I mean, we don't really talk all that much, so there's not a lot of things he could be lying about. I don't know. About the mood music. Excuse me.
You know, something simple like, I don't know, he's not a god of forging, he is a god of wine or something. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I'd be pretty impressed, because how else do I get this magic forward shit? Look, I mean, ultimately, I'm the wrong person to ask, since I didn't really go to Goivnew, he came to me.
Alright, the cleric in the party is the wrong person to ask about God. My apologies.
Listen.
That was a joke. Do not worry, I'm sorry. I did not mean to offend.
You didn't, I know. Your humor programming is improving.
Improving. That's
Look.
one way you could say, getting more funny. Haha.
Look.
Carrick.
Okay, let me answer the question. Look,
He's like sort of absent-minded, looking around him, like he's not super paying attention to the conversation.
Look, ultimately, at the end of the day, Goibniu gives me power. If he's lied to me about things, it would depend on what he lied about, but at the end of the day, I'm the recipient of the power. If he chooses to end that relationship, then that's on him. Otherwise, I mainly do what I want.
I see. That is very interesting. Thank you for your contribution.
He's like saying it like he's not sure of what he's saying.
Is Flint awake?
No, I'm taking watch after him.
Oh, sorry, wrong question. What happened here? It looks like there may have been a fight. Was there combat?
Yes, there was. There were these 8-legged freaks that attacked us from the woods.
That is very unfortunate. Did we lose anyone?
Nixie.
Who?
One of the horses.
Oh, yes, now I remember. Do we still have enough horses to travel?
That's a great question. One that we'll figure out in the morning, I suppose.
I do not know what else I could tell you about. The world is much larger than we knew, Carrick. We are a very small collection of 2 islands. Or larger islands, but ultimately we are small.
You know, Master Abot, I am keeping watch to make sure nothing sneaks up on us in the night while everyone's sleeping, so perhaps we should debrief in the morning.
I don't think I will sleep tonight. I need to go commune. I will be back, Carrick. Is that okay? Can I leave?
Are you mentally or physically?
Physically, I need to go somewhere and commune.
If I said it wasn't okay, would you not do it?
I'm not sure. I am mostly curious as to your opinion.
I'd prefer if you didn't.
I will go do that anyways. Goodbye.
Avon just swivels his head, turns his body, and then starts trotting off into the forest.
He hops off the wagon. The whole wagon tilts.
So the stone that Carrick's been holding in his hand,
yeah,
he casts light on it and he tosses it in front of Abot.
Okay.
Abot's still moving.
He just walks. You throw it quite a ways, but you kind of just watch Abot kind of on the backlit. You kind of just watch him walk past the first couple trees into the forest, and then past and over the light, and you kind of lose him in the darkness.
I wasn't really even watching him. That was more just like to light the way for him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you would see him. Obviously, he's in your field of view. So.
Oh, okay. Never mind. So yeah.
All right.
So picked up another rock.
Yeah, Carrick, roll a perception check, and then Abot, what are you doing?
Abot's moving till he thinks he'd be out of earshot of the group. So probably like 6-minute travel. Like he's moving a ways, but not like.
Yeah, it'll be like a 3 or 4 minute walk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once he's there, he's going to slowly unlatch his torso, pull out several ritual books for Savris, and just sort of lay them out in a circle, right?
Okay.
As he's done back in the Dragonborn village.
Yep.
And he's just like drawing in the dirt. He's slowly and meticulously. He's not really looking at his surroundings, right? But he's going to walk into the middle of the circle, sort of enter sentry mode, and then look forward and reach out with his mind to Savris, or at least attempt to.
Okay.
Savris, be my light. Reveal that which hides from my sight. Guide my ears toward the whispers of the night. The Savris that knows all. The Savris that is right. Savris, I have come to commune. Not commune. That is the wrong verbiage. Ask. Beg. The better word would be beg. Savris, I'm no longer sure of many things. I was in the Prime Library using the other tool that is not you. I learned that some things view you very differently than I have viewed you. We have not had many conversations about your identity. Isn't that funny? I'm the cleric of knowledge, and I don't even know a single thing about my own god. I don't know what you are, or who you are. Are you just a faceless aspect of our world? Or are those stones true? Are you a thinking, acting god? With a thought, motivation, a silent creator, or I don't know. I don't even have a clue, Stavros. You know, weeks ago, I wouldn't have even thought to question you.
As you're talking, you start to feel this creepy feeling. It's coming from somewhere. Starting from your back and working its way up your neck. And you then begin to feel this vibration through your body. And all you hear as you feel your hand begin to slide across the ground. Not near the books, in between them, almost avoiding them.
I am not talking to you.
You feel your fingers, all but one, begin to curl, and your hand begins to trace the ground, slowly making a familiar symbol. Flint, you're in the middle of finally catching and falling into that sleep. And you're dreaming of home. And as you walk down a familiar hallway towards your mother's room, as you've done so many times when she was ill, you walk past different portraits and paintings that have always been there. But there's a new image next to the painting of your mother outside her room, framed the same way, the same canvas, and it's a symbol that you've seen times before, time and time again, drawn by Abot. And this creeping feeling starting from the back of your neck and working way up your head and around and into your eyes. And you hear a voice. We are one.
I'm in my dream. Do I have anything on me?
You look down at your hands, and you see that you're just in your common clothes, and you see that your hands are that of a child. And you look up, and you're beginning to see more shapes appear next to and below that one shape, to the point where you see this imagery. And one by one, they come into view. And you look at them. We are one.
I pick up the canvas and I throw it on the ground.
And you grab it off the wall, and you throw it on the ground, and you stomp on it. And then you look back up, and there it is on the wall again. and you feel your hand begin to, in this dream, move. You're reaching for the doorknob to your right and in front of you, the doorknob to your mother's room.
Can I grab my other hand and pull it back?
You're going to grab your arm and force it down. I need you to make a strength check, please.
21.
And you're forcing your arm down. And Abot, as you're drawing that symbol and you're fighting this, you feel your arm begin to move down in a line as Flint is pulling his arm down to his side. And you both in unison hear more. As your arm that you're forcing down, Flint, and Abot, your arm is beginning to tremble. And both arms simultaneously lift up in front of you. As the hand clasps, and Abot, your hand clasps the air. And your arm turns this doorknob. You push the door open, Flint. And Abot, you hear the words, more.
Yes, I know. More.
He's like very, it's like frustrated and confused. It's like a babysitter with like, there's a child that's just doing shit that is just unruly, and Abot's trying to figure out how to deal with it.
Flint is starting to get panicked. It's a dream. He has no idea what's happening. He's gonna try to push his own body backwards so it doesn't go through the door.
And as you're trying to fight it, your whole body begins to tremble as your leg, without you controlling it, pushes forward and steps through the doorway. And you stand there in the doorway looking in the twin-sized bed, your mother on it, as she always is when she was ill.
She's gone. You can't take her. She's gone. Leave me alone.
As you feel your other
I'm
leg
not you.
push forward a step closer. I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
From
Another
both of
step
us?
forward. What was that?
From both of us, or just?
Nope, just Flint.
10, almost 19.
Another step forward. You're 5 steps away from your mother. I need another wisdom saving throw, please.
Not rolling very well. 5.
Another step forward. I need another wisdom saving throw, please.
Am I hearing this as well?
You're hearing this every time he's hearing it. You're hearing more. You don't feel anything. Your whole body is trembling, though.
Frank,
Yep.
am I at any point hearing like Flint like kind of like having nightmares?
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
And I got a 9.
Another step forward. I need another wisdom saving throw, please.
I got a 17, I think, Frank.
So, you
17,
don't hear him having a nightmare. What you do hear is just kind of like rustling back and forth, like somebody's just, kind of moving around in their sleep inside one of the tents.
So nothing abnormal.
Nothing abnormal.
Okay. Sorry, Flint.
I know you're hungry, but there's nothing around that you can eat.
21.
And you
What?
take another step, and your whole body begins to tremble again. Abot. In that moment, you hear, "No!"
I
You feel both your hands bury into the sand and begin to draw that shape again. Flint, what are you doing? You've caught yourself in this moment. What are you doing?
Okay. I would like to backpedal to backwards as far as I can. I'm gonna try to hit my head on something.
No! As you kind of backpedal back into the wall, and then you turn around and you start bashing your head on the wall. Carrick, you're now just hearing like just rustling, like almost like a fight in one of these tents. Like somebody's flailing around.
I start making my way over at probably a quick speed.
Yeah, so you go and you see basically Flint like in his like bedroll just flailing. Sweating bullets. Not saying anything, but just flailing around like he's having a night terror.
I go over, I immediately cast guidance on him, and I put my hands on his shoulders, I pump a guidance into him, and I kind of try and shake him awake gently, but you know.
Okay.
Brother Flint.
Flint, I need a wisdom saving throw with guidance, please.
Yeah.
12.
What was it?
12.
And as you're kind of your head, you go to swing your head again, and this imagery changes. You fucking stumble forward, and you're staring at 5 dwarves in ceremonial robes. You recognize the robes of the Tattered Shore on 2 of them. The robes of the Iron Cliff, the Iron Fists, and the robes of the High Cliff on 1, respectively. There's a last dwarf that you don't recognize in robes you don't recognize. And again, as your foot takes another step forward, and then another step forward towards these dwarves that are standing in a circle around each other, seems to be communicating. You feel your body pulling you in the direction of the Tattered Shore dwarves.
I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna yell, scatter! Get away from me!
The dwarves,
Leave.
the dwarves all look up and then in your direction, and they're just looking at you with these confused faces. As you're another step, and your feet are starting to pick up the pace, and you're going faster and faster towards the door. Now you're running at them. I need another wisdom saving throw, please.
In the meantime, Abot's like trying to control his other arm. Is it only affecting his right arm? Or
Both
is he
your
drawing
arms are
the
drawing
both
the
arms?
symbol.
Abot's going to try to will his arm to draw the acorn instead.
The acorn?
The acorn. That's I.
Yeah. And you're trying to do that? Give me a wisdom saving throw, please. What did you roll?
16.
And you are in a full freaking sprint at these dwarves. And one of the dwarves looks up, and you're in his face, and you feel your body completely fucking dissipate. And everything goes black. And you instantly in that moment wake up. Carrick, you watch him just shoot up and flailing as you're holding him. Abot, what'd you roll?
15.
15. You begin to draw the acorn over and over and over again, and the voice
See, I
subsides.
Can do it too. Look at us now, both are drawing in the dirt.
And the voice subsides. The vision subsides. The dream is over. Carrick's like holding you, Flint, as you come to.
Where's Abot?
Abot walked away. He wanted to commune with his god. Are you all right?
No, I'm fucking not.
Okay, let's calm down. Let's relax. What's what happened?
The fucking symbols, the thing that Abot draws in the sand.
Yes.
Appearing everywhere. I kept hearing voices and I couldn't control anything I was doing.
Okay, so sounds like a nightmare. I mean, people have them.
Not. It was far too real for a fucking nightmare. Get me, A-Bot.
Well, we'll have to go find him. Why don't you come with me? I don't want to leave you alone right now.
Yeah, I'll go.
I pump another guidance into him just to give him that little warm, fuzzy feeling. And I pull my warhammer out. I cast light on it and sort of a. Is there a moon out?
As you look up, as you step out, hold on one second, let me check. Ba.
I'm loving it.
It is a half moon.
Okay. I cast light with like a pale blue light, and we make our way towards the direction that I saw Abot walking to.
I don't know how much they'd catch, but Abot's just like he's drawing the A card over and over again. Just
See, isn't this funny? Both of us drawing in the dirt. Ha 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 ha. I don't get it. Hunger. Why? There's no crystals near me. I was talking to Savarus. Can you even understand me?
You don't hear
Abot's
anything.
just still drawing the acorn and talking to himself.
Look, I can do it too. Ha ha ha.
And as
Isn't that
you're
cool?
saying ha ha ha, Carrick and Flint, you kind of come up behind him.
Look at me drawing acorns.
see-
Whoop-de-doo.
You see him sitting in the dirt, surrounded by books with just symbols all drawn all around him, acorns and those swirls.
Abot just rotates his head to face them like a oh shit.
Oh,
Stop.
hello. Hello, Flint.
Remember this? Hi. So remember the smoke that he put onto me?
Which, when I saved your life with the surgery,
Yeah, that.
yes,
You said you hear voices, right?
yes,
I just had a very vivid nightmare.
like
With
3
those
minutes
symbols?
ago.
Yes, just right now.
Hmm.
With those symbols, hearing a voice saying we and more, and it showed me my mother when she was alive and me when I was a kid, and that something's wrong, man. It's really wrong.
So this symbol.
He points to the way.
Yeah, that one.
Ah, I may have corrupted you. That is not great. I'm going
No,
to be.
it's not fucking great.
But how does a dwarf get corrupted? Are
Apparently when you
you
throw smoke on his face,
okay?
I'm not okay.
I see. I don't know if it was you or me that triggered this then. I was communing with my useless god, Savarus.
Let me sit down. Flynn's just gonna drop. I'm still a little altered.
Were you doing anything before it happened?
I was sleeping.
You have crystals on you.
I do.
Ooh.
No, I took them out. I took them out. I put them on the keg, so they weren't on me.
We should check if those are corrupted. I don't know why else it would do that.
It showed me my mother. From what we can guess, she fought corruption and died to it. If we understand the fucking clues.
It is possible. I really have no idea why it just did what it did.
Well, she's dead. We saw what happened to List.
I'm very doubtful that it could corrupt her corpse. Isn't it very far away?
Supposedly.
I think it is just giving you nightmares because it wants to psychologically damage you. Or it is your own mind reacting negatively to its corruption. In either case, I am very doubtful that it has corrupted your mother. But that is very, very bad that you are corrupted.
It also showed me dwarves in robes for each of the clans and one that I didn't know. I tried to grab them.
Did it try to pull your body in a specific direction?
Yeah.
Where?
Towards them.
Within the dream or in real life?
And I don't know about real life. I wasn't awake.
Well, maybe it just wants you to go to the dwarves. Previously, it wanted me to go to the Earth Forge. And that is where we found 8. Remember? Do you remember 8?
I do remember 8. I wanted to talk to you about it, but how am I gonna sleep? Hey, what?
I don't know. I'm not planning on sleeping tonight.
You don't really need to sleep.
I cannot sleep.
But I kinda need to.
Flint, it is very strange that you are corrupted. You are not. You do not have any crystals potentially embedded inside of you.
He's saying it like he's very, like almost, it's just a question, but not really.
That I know of, no.
Yeah, I didn't expect that it would. In any case, I'll gather up all of this. I was trying to communicate with Stavros, but he did not feel like talking.
I feel like you have a roadblock in the way.
I feel like he is a roadblock. I learned that it is possible that Stavros is not just some font of knowledge, but, you know, like a god similar to Goibin. Why would he not just come clean about something like that? If he had a plan and he was going to do something, wouldn't he have told me, right?
But, no, the whole point of a god is that they don't tell you. You have
Then
faith
why did
in them.
Goibin tell Garrick, and why is Freya telling Kira? I don't
They're
understand.
different- They're different gods and they do things differently. Additionally, Freya has never spoken to Kira from what we know.
Yes, but Freya has
Garrick's-
interacted.
Yeah,
Freya-
she has interacted, but Carrick's a hard ass. Sorry, Carrick, I knew you were here, but you are a hard ass. He's much harder to speak to and to get moving than anyone with faith. Most gods won't do the things that he's doing. He's the exception to the rule, not the other way around.
Maybe.
I mean, if all the gods that I talked to spoke to me, goddamn, I would have a lot of voices in my head.
As you guys have been having this conversation, Kira, you've been in the tent with 2 of the children in Bajak, and they've been talking to you in Orcish, kind of whispering about the creatures and what they were. They want to know what they were, and they want to know why they were trying to hurt them. They want to know, and Niga specifically asks, she says, Mother, well, without the mountains, how will we be safe? If the world is this way, how will we be safe?
The world isn't this way everywhere. Those creatures were monstrosities. They're not normal.
They
They're enemies of
they
Freya.
they kill Bajok.
They didn't kill him.
They take horse.
We will keep you safe. We will teach you how to fight and keep yourself safe. We won't let anything happen to you.
And she kind of like it's basically just getting to the point where they're all just nuzzling against you, like they're just like they just want close comfort. You can tell that they're scared. And Bajak, still like wincing in pain, kind of looks to you and he says, when it had its claws on me, it was giving me dreams. I was seeing horrible things. It was my body changing and twisting, and there were all sorts of things happening to me, and I couldn't break free.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I cast protection from evil and good. So, like, this energy comes out of my hand and it forms like the shape of a wolf and circles around him and then settles into him. Here, this is a protection spell. It will keep you safe.
He kind of looks at you and just kind of nuzzles his head into your chest again. You guys are kind of having just like a little cuddle puddle.
I say, don't worry. I'll keep you safe. The wolves will keep you safe. Freya will keep you safe.
And, you know, he closes his eyes. The other two kids that you kind of like have your arms around all of them, and they kind of all close their eyes. And within seconds, just from the pure exhaustion, they all seem to just pass out. What are you doing? You just kind of support their body weight and just let them.
Yeah, I try to like lean my head over onto one of them and get some sleep.
Okay. And that's what you're able to do. Flint and Abot and Carrick, you're still continuing to have this conversation. What are you doing?
Carrick, are you here?
Nope.
Does not look like.
Abot he's moving over to pick up all the books and just sort of haphazardly stuffing them inside of him. Doesn't feel like organizing right now.
Abot, I'm really sorry for what I did today.
I do not understand why you are apologizing. He's just a tool.
It's not just a tool, and you know it. It was a time that my mistakes are laid bare. What I did. I deserve what's happening to me at the moment in my dreams with the kids.
I do not believe that there is such a thing as deserve in this context.
Either way,
Flint, you were designed for something like this. You are strong and capable. Look at my body. I do not need these books. I have a perfect knowledge base. I know everything that is contained within them. Why am I designed this way? To have all of these books inside of me. I was not designed to set off on some adventure, chasing gods. I might be the most biased one in the party, but my god has not spoken a word to me. You, on the other hand, you were designed for an adventure like this. I do not believe that you have anything to be forgiven for. Whatever you're doing seems to be working. So keep doing it.
Ebot's finally finished stuffing all of. He's saying this while he's like leaning over and just piling everything into his stomach.
No, listen, it's not working. You didn't see the fight that happened like a couple hours ago.
Are you
One of
alive?
The only reason why they're here is because I decided that their parents' lives weren't worth it. And eight died in a similar manner because I just couldn't fucking see what was right in front of me and the value of the things that were putting themselves as a block. And it can't continue happening. It can't keep just destroying everything that puts itself in front of us, despite the fact that they're gonna try to destroy us as fast as they can. It can't be the same thing that we're trying to stop, or else it's still there. It's just us instead.
So
Flynn. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
you guys are continuing this conversation. Damien, you are kind of sleeping, and just like anyone else, every now and then you kind of wake up and turn over, and for a moment you wake up and kind of take in your surroundings, remember where you are, and kind of come into yourself and realize that these past few days, while you've been on this, since leaving the splinter and since fighting the beast, as you're kind of falling back into yourself, this is the best you've slept in months.
Hell yeah.
And you take that and you realize that, and you drift back into sleep. And Flint and Ava, continuing your conversation.
Flint, do you want my professional opinion?
I'd like the opinion of friends, but yeah.
I do not want the most powerful member of our party to be consumed with regret for actions that I do not believe could have been prevented. Regardless, we were going to fight those orcs. The second Kira launched her arrow, their fate was sealed. They did not surrender after your bomb decimated so many of them. I do not believe they would have given up if we had fought them in a more traditional manner. 8 was a robot, not a person.
Still, you're a person. Like you have will. We've established that you're a person. Like, you're growing more and more. I don't want to say human-like, but you're going more and more like a normal mortal. And I understand what you mean by the orcs, but I fucked up on it. I legitimately thought that I was just gonna bend it inward, stop them from moving. I took your friend away.
I barely knew 8. I knew 8 would be similar to myself, so I regretted his destruction. Did I know anything about 8? No. I could not list a single personality trait that 8 possessed. I mourned for what 8 represented, rather than the person or robot that he was. And I feel that you should do the same. Did you know that wars or conflicts are not decided by who is more ethically right? If you let regret consume yourself, the Celestians will win.
But if they lose, and we're the same thing as them, nothing
Are
really
we the
changes,
same
really.
thing as them? I feel that you are being inflammatory. They have enslaved an entire people. We have engaged in conflict. Flint, if we are going to win this, You cannot keep throwing a pity parade about yourself. We need to win. We need to use every advantage that we have, or else we will not win. Do you understand that, Flint? We are fighting an army 4 times the size of anything we possess. And we are getting caught up on semantics, on an orc village conflict, and a robot.
Abot's like finally finished plugging everything into himself. He's latched himself up, and he's starting to walk back to the encampment, but his head is rotated to face Flint while he's saying all of this.
As you're doing that, I need a perception check.
From Abot?
Any of you or one person with advantage.
Okay, Abot's not doing it.
As you're walking, you hear slight movement in the underbrush as you're making your way back to the camp.
Make a minor illusion of a rattlesnake, of the sound of a rattlesnake essentially going for the bite right next to it to see what happens.
You do that. No noise, no movement.
Okay, well, we'll continue this conversation. Give me a second. I'm gonna move towards it slowly.
Abot stops and faces where he's looking.
So you start walking towards the bushes that you heard moving.
Yeah.
You don't see anything. You don't hear anything.
I'm gonna open up the brush where I heard the noise. I'm gonna look for tracks, anything of the sort.
Roll an investigation check. You see that there's broken twigs and paw print.
How big?
It's fairly large. And as you're looking at it, you see there's a few more in line. Whatever was standing here has more than 4 legs.
Okay. I'm gonna go towards Abot and tell him we're not alone anymore. Seems this night still gonna have a couple more events going. I won't sleep too. I'll keep the watch. I'll let Garrett sleep and I'll stay with you.
That may be for the best. I will look into. I will look into curing you.
Figure stuff out. I'm gonna every night start asking for protection spells from either Clara, Carrick, or Kira. We'll figure shit out. We always do.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm not planning on suddenly going soft on Shalinstians or stop doing everything I can so that you guys live. Simply advocating for not going for the bomb every time.
Flint, I can tell that it is eating you up. The actions that you have caused.
Flint, as you guys are walking back to the camp again, talking, you hear a from the treetops above you.
Above? Okay.
And you, as you look up, you just see one of the branches just kind of bouncing up and down. Nothing on it.
Abot communicates in both beast speech and actually just, I guess he activates beast speech and then he just communicates regularly.
If anything is stalking or planning on attacking us, I would advise against it.
He's just continuing to move. He's not really looking at the underbrush at all.
You continue to make your way back over the next couple minutes. And you make your way back to the center of the camp, the three of you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh,
Wow.
Nelly.
Hell yeah. This is gonna be a long night.